I'm just grabbing my phone. I'm tidying up some wires.
And Peggy can read the comments then.
I can also read the comments. So we hope you are all well.
Yes, hope you're well. If you've seen me move my arm,
Jackie Boy's
Jackie
joined us
boy.
too.
Jackie boy.
So yes.
Oh,
What a weekend.
yeah, well, weekend. So you start with what you did yesterday.
I trekked.
You can't say the W word.
I trekked from Swindon to Lechlade, 12.26 miles with my friend Tracy, as we are both. Hello and good evening, David. So yesterday I walked from Swindon to Lechlade, 12.26 miles with my friend Tracy, as we are both in practice for our training, because in July, at the end of July, we are walking from Minehead to Dawlish over 2 days in aid of Alzheimer's Society. So that was quite nice, and I have got a bit red.
A bit red.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah.
Just a bit red. A bit red.
If Peggy looks up, how red her nose is how red her shoulders are.
Yeah. Wow.
And we've named this talk for April Sink or Swim. Yep, what's up with you?
Jack, go careful.
And we've called this Sink or Swim, and the reason for that is we bought a kayak.
We did indeed.
We're saving for a boat, a proper boat. Like, our friend Harry, we call him Harry Canal.
Yes.
And I am going to try and get this right.
Hang on, I'm gonna.
He has recommended a downcraft. Is it called a downcraft?
Dawncraft.
Dawncraft. It might be a dawncraft. Sorry, not a downcraft. Dawncraft. And they look pretty good. And that's a GRP, like a cruiser style boat. But the options are open at the minute because we need to save. So me and Peggy had a very, very hard discussion about what to keep and what goes. And I decided the first thing to go, really, to put the money into the boat save, would be the Triumph 1300.
But it didn't sell.
And the auction ended about an hour ago, and a hell of a lot of people watched the auction. I had a lot of questions on it, but the money wasn't forthcoming. So the Triumph is still here.
At the moment.
Obviously, a lot of people have asked about the Montego. The Montego is still in the workshop in Worcester with Bury and Classics, and it's progressing. It's progressing.
It is.
It's having done work done.
We got to go up there to drop off some wheels.
It says
Sink or swip. Right?
sink or swim.
For your life. I'm sure I definitely put
Sink or swip. I wonder what swip could stand
It
for.
does.
Sink
It
or
does.
swip.
It does. It does.
Right,
It does.
David pointed out, what does swip stand for?
Yeah, because I did write swim. That's really annoying.
That's really funny. Swip. Southwest Idiot Protection.
Southwest in Pond.
Southwest in Pond. Sink or swim. Swim, you time bar.
Excuse me.
Always proofread. I don't. I got caught out the other day. Right, Jack, can we have a talk now?
Sit down or go out.
So I said we'd sell the little Clubman estate. Hey, you don't want to sell the Clubman estate.
Let him out.
Go on, do you want to go out?
We'll just let Jackie boy out so he doesn't bark. So yeah. So she's not allowed to sell Olive because she wanted a Clubman estate for a very, very long time. It was quite strange how Olive came about.
It was a bit strange how Olive came about. For those who don't know, I always sleep well. And I very, very rarely get insomnia. And it's just this one particular night, no matter what, I could not sleep. And there was an auction going on eBay. Well, I didn't, as usual, I didn't have the money at the time. I decided I was going to save that particular year for that particular item. So I decided I was going to save for this club and estate. I took a screenshot of the auction of that mini club and estate, and I put on my Facebook about 4 in the morning. This year, by this summer, I'll have the money to buy one of these cars. It's a shame I didn't have the money to, you know, to bid on that particular auction. Well, that was fate, because a good friend of ours, Clive, messaged me and goes, I've got a friend who they're got together, they're having a child, and they're moving all at the same time.
And they have a club and estate exactly the same as the picture. It's the same colour, same style.
Almost the same year, I think.
Oh, nearly the same year, yeah.
So I thought, So I sold the car I had at the time, put some savings with it, and we had to go all the way down to Dover to go and get it. So I ended up getting Olive a lot quicker than I anticipated getting a club and estate, and we've had her 7 years now.
Yeah, it's
about 7 years, without checking paperwork, about 7 years. Club and estate, so yeah. She didn't do a lot last year because of lockdown. We were in lockdown for a lot of last year. And this year, I have taken her out, but she's got a leaking fuel tank, and the club and estates use an underslung fuel tank, and it's different, so I have to get that out and get the tank restored, which I will do. Yeah, so that's the club and estate update.
Yeah.
As I said, the Triumph didn't sell, the Maestro's being done. Yeah. But anyway, we're going off subject slightly because it's sink or swim.
Yeah.
Do you want a boat?
Yeah.
It took a lot of persuading. It took about 4 years.
Did you see that arm go right behind my back then?
It looked painful. What boat do you think we should have? Write in the comments. Well, a narrow boat.
Or
we'd have to save up about 20,000.
Yeah, or a GRP.
I think we should start with the GRP.
Mind you, we saw a nice little Dutch barge today with the stained glass window.
I'd be worried about getting that under the bridges.
Well, they didn't seem to be.
No, but to me, it was huge.
It was kind of big, but it was not. They had a nice piece of stained glass window in it.
And the other strange thing we saw on the canals today was,
the old lifeboat.
It's an old lifeboat, but like a seaworthy one.
So if you
George Clark had it on his programme.
If you watch George Clark's Amazing Spaces, he actually visited one where it was completely kitted out inside, an absolute brilliant little home.
It's like a
it's
huge
just
Lifebuoy,
yeah.
orange plastic flamonge.
But it's good to.
And
it was nice to see one.
And it's got big stamps on the side. This Lifebuoy, I think it said, carries 42 people.
It did. It actually had that stamped on it.
And I thought, blimey, that'd be crammed in there.
I think they used something similar in the film Captain Phillips.
Could have done with it for the Titanic.
Was it Captain Phillips they used it similar?
Well, that was a little version.
That was a smaller version, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, Captain Phillips, yeah. It was a smaller version.
Yeah.
This was a huge version. And it's on the canal.
It was on the canal.
Yeah, so that was unusual to see. Did you get a photo of it?
No.
No, well.
I
Can't share it with you guys, sorry.
I don't think I did. I think it was further down, so you can't see it in the
I didn't get a photo of it because I was on the water.
She was kayaking.
Yeah, I will put a picture on our Insta and our Facebook page later.
And I've also got a little bit of footage of her actually canoeing as well.
It's the first time I've ever done it. I will start from the very beginning. When I was a child, we'll go back a while, and
just a little bit.
My parents purchased a piece of land. Now, up against this piece of land was it's a stream, a brook really, but it's one of the feeders to the Thames, so the land was just off about a mile from the Thames. If that. No, it's probably not a mile as a crow flies, half a mile.
You're
And
very close to it, actually, because when I did the walk yesterday,
it is very close to Thames.
I could see the tree line where the field is. So
it's
yeah,
not very
where the
far
stream
to
would
the
be.
Thames.
No, it's
And
not far at all.
this body of water is called the Lady Isis, and it feeds the Thames. Obviously, the Thames Isis.
Mhm.
And as a kid, you know, you can get those oil barrels, the big barrels.
Not the blue ones.
It was blue, yeah.
No, I don't think they were oil barrels.
There might be antifreeze.
Something.
Motor factor.
The big blue buoyant
What you'd
ones.
use as a water butt is what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Well, this one was plastic. And my dad cut the top off for me, as in, I didn't go bobbing along, put it on his side and cut the top off. And what I had to do is drink lots of Coca-Cola, other brands are available. And he came home with big, you know, you can get the waste pipe, the grey waste pipe. Came
Yeah.
home from that.
The drain ones.
The
Yeah.
drain ones. And he came home with the end caps. And we drank the fizzy pop. Made sure they were full of air. And then we pushed them into the bottle, into the
Blue.
into the tubes,
Yeah.
because they would take the big bottles.
Okay.
And then we put the end caps on, sealed them,
Okay.
and then we put them up against the blue barrel,
Mm.
and then clamped a piece of wood at either end.
Mm.
And then we had something else, I can't remember what it was. It might have been an inner tube or something. And we put that either side as well. And that was my freebie makeshift boat as a kid. It was a little bit, but compared to the kayak, it was probably more stable. And I don't know, I ain't got a clue what I used as an oar. I think we had an oar. I think that's what triggered it all off.
Oh,
I had an
okay.
oar, just kicking around for some reason.
Yeah.
So I had the oar. So I got in this makeshift boat as a kid, and I went up this Lady Isis River, stream, brook, and I really enjoyed it. And we did that quite a bit. I think the only thing that put an end to it is the land adjacent to it. They purchased it and they put a new bridge in, and rather than being a humpback bridge, they put a completely flat, like a cattle bridge in.
Yeah, but they did use it for cattle.
I did manage to get under it once. We had a really dry summer and the water level dropped right down, and I got back in the boat and I managed to sort of claw my way through in the water underneath the bridge, and then I carried on. And I did that right up until I met Peggy.
Hmm.
Then it stopped because I didn't go down there as much.
Jenny says hello, and she's just had her second jab. Well
Welcome
done,
to the
you.
club. Welcome.
Chloe's had hers, second jab. Mine is due in June. My second one.
Let's all hope we can properly get out there soon.
Excuse Jackie is barking at the seagulls.
Yes. Hey, Jack.
Yeah, he's barking at the seagulls.
Yeah, he's obsessed with birds. So yeah, that was my
You know,
first.
you normally can say to a dog, "Where's the pussycat?" Or in Jack's case as well, "Where's Foxy Loxy?" Now you can say, "Where's the birds?" And he'll go straight out there and
can
start
you-
barking.
Hear the location of the van as well. He was over there to begin with.
Now he's over
about,
here.
Now he's about here.
He'll be over here next.
We'll see if he does a circuit, and then we'll let him in. So yeah, it was my first boat.
And
When was the first time you went on a boat? Because you did go. You went canoeing, didn't you?
I went kayaking, yeah. Canoeing, kayak. No, it's canoe, isn't it? If it's a closed one, it's a canoe. It's an open one, it's a kayak. Anyway, so I went canoeing. I was about 14, actually. Really can't swim very well. Never. I had a bad experience with a swimming teacher.
Want to elaborate?
Yeah, they asked everybody who went on their first swimming lesson who's been swimming before. Everybody who's been swimming before put their hand up. I didn't, and they decided to push me into the water and told me to swim across.
Nice.
So yeah, so
What did you do? Blah, blah, blah.
yeah, literally, I could just barely touch the ground with my foot, and literally had to bob along, coughing and spluttering because I was swallowing water and stuff, to get to the other side because they wouldn't even come and help. It was absolutely awful. So whilst I can do a front stroke, I suppose is what's called, isn't it? Front stroke. I can
I've
swim.
seen you swim. It's sort of
Yeah,
front
it's
stroke is-
self-taught because of it.
no
I-
one around can see because Peggy's like.
I splash everywhere. Yeah, but but so I'm not really that au fait with swimming, should I say? But I did give kayaking or canoeing a go, and I can then I actually got my 1 star in it. There's an award for it, so I have got a 1 star in canoeing. And I did have to tip it over, the canoe over, and have to also balance yourself and rub noses with it like an Eskimo, because that's where canoes originate from.
I think you're brave, because I wouldn't want to
And
do that.
obviously I canoed, there's a massive pond, and I did the whole course. It was a 5-day course. I did the whole 5 days, a couple of hours in the morning, a couple of hours in the afternoon, and I passed.
My day's gone by.
Because they said, oh, because who can, again, they asked who can swim. People put their hands up, and I hadn't, and they went, we still need you for you to get your 1 star, for you to tip yourself in, because we need to know that you can get to the bank safely. So what they did is those who could swim, they put them further into the middle of the pond, and those who couldn't really swim, even though you still had your life jackets on, they put you nearer the bank, so you didn't have far to go, and you tipped yourself in. You still had to grab the end of your canoe and pull it with you as well, and that was what they wanted to make sure, is that you can still so if the current was really bad, because obviously it was on a pond, so it's fine, that you could still hold on to your canoe as a buoyancy aid. And that's what they were trying to do, because some people go sea canoeing and kayaking, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Ladies, bye-bye.
with this kayak, the things that I'm going to do to protect myself, we wear a life jacket, and it's open, so if it went over, I'm not staying underneath, I'm coming out basically, aren't I?
Yeah. So yours is a kayak, not a canoe, because it's open.
Yeah, it's a kayak, and I'm not going to go anywhere that's got a fast current. I would be frightened to go on a river on it, truthfully. I would be frightened to go on a river in an inflatable kayak. I don't think it's advisable. I'm certainly not going to try it. I did today on the Kennet in Avon, and oh blimey, I expect.
To be fair, she'd actually done at least 3 miles.
I did 3 miles.
Because she did about 1.5 miles one way, and there was no way we were going to carry it back. She had to do it back while I walked along the actual towpath. But that's another story in itself, why I was on the towpath.
I'll let you say that in a minute.
Yeah.
So you're doing that manoeuvre.
Yeah.
It's hard to do it without it.
Because you're twisting your body.
Yeah.
And you're twisting your core, your tummy.
Well, I know my tummy don't feel like I've done anything.
But you are twisting it.
Well, at the moment, my tummy don't feel like I've done anything. I ache here. That's what I expected, because that's where you're pulling the water with this piece. What I don't understand is my legs are almost out in front of me. I really ache on my thighs.
Because you're still twisting.
So I'm using my thighs and not my tummy.
The top bit, yeah. But you should be using your core. But obviously,
I haven't got any core.
you're meant to use your core muscles, but you're not actually using your core muscles by the sound of it. You sound like you're doing that more, as if you're rolling your legs. So the top bits of your thighs is probably rolled.
Yeah, I'd go with that. So how do I use my core? 'Cause it's all
Try not to use your legs.
It's all flabby and fat.
Try not to use your legs next time.
Every time I move my legs, like stepping in and out of the van, moving out, switching my
It's
legs
going to
over.
ache for a few days.
I think I'm going to ache for a few days. But I was quite chuffed. For someone who's never been kayaking,
No.
we never got a show. I've done it off my own back.
Yeah.
I managed to get 1.5 miles down the canal and 1.5 miles back. And it was quite busy. There was an awful lot of boats moored up.
There was a lot of narrow boats moored up, and a lot of boats actually on the water itself. I used to have a plastic dinghy made by Bic, took it on the river.
Took it on the river. You're quite brave.
Wow.
Quite brave. I think if I had a plastic one and I got used to it, if I did the same journey I did today and got used to it, I'd probably be a little bit more adventurous. because I was in an inflatable,
Mm.
I was a little bit worried that I'd hear because
And have to get the puncture repair kit out.
because there was one narrowboat that came towards me, and it's quite a distance, it's quite straight, and they could see us. I got right over, they got right over. Not that they need to move over a lot, but I'm only small. But I managed to get over. But as I did get to the bank on this side, there was a lot of brambles and that on that side, and I didn't really want to be in with the brambles being an inflatable. So what I did after that experience is every time a narrowboat wanted to pass, I did go over to the towpath side
Yeah.
in plenty of time and just rested my arm on the bank to hold me steady and let the boat pass, said hello to him, and then carried on. And I must have passed.
There was one that you passed twice because they turned around in the
Yeah,
winding
I think I
hole.
passed about 8 boats that were moving.
Yeah, I'd say that.
About 8
At
boats
least
that were
8.
moving, and only one of them caused a ripple underneath the kayak.
Was that the one that was being driven by the boy?
No, that
Oh,
was
okay.
quite funny. Fair play to them. There was a
They
family.
were trying. It was a hire boat.
Yeah, it was a small, like a river boat, a small river boat. And they were letting the boy, I think he must have been about 14, 15.
To steer.
But he was steering like a car. And he wasn't getting the hang of it. And we watched him drive into the bank.
He turned quickly. The back of it went into the bank with all the trees, and the two women, obviously the mum and somebody else, got whacked in the head by the trees.
So the father didn't have time to correct it. The boy got into the bank, and his mums were getting bashed by the trees. And I just floated by and looked at him and went, calm down. Take your time. Slowly manoeuvre.
And then the dad was saying, yes, slowly.
Slowly, yeah.
And I could hear him from the towboat.
But I do think, and I've not got the experience, I don't know. To me, a narrowboat tiller looks... I think you'd have more control. That's why you're at the back of the boat. You've got a connection to what's happening with you in the front. You're watching the front, you're using the tiller, very slight movements. I believe you'd have a bit more control. Obviously things like wind and current can play with that. But excluding wind and current, I think more control on an narrowboat. But on those, what should you call them, river cruisers, with the steering wheel, I just think you'd only get a feel for it after practice. I don't think you'd get a feel for it straight away.
Possible.
But we're not going to buy one of them.
No.
Because the idea of the kayak is just to try and chill out. To try and have a day off.
And
to go
exercise.
And obviously get exercise as well. So that's the kayak.
Because it's still a workout.
But the boat that we're going to buy has to be lockable and has to stay on the canal. So we'll pay our license fees, we'll pay a continual cruiser, we'll put it on the canal. So it has to be a lockable one. So we'll probably go for a GRP to begin with so that we can budget it, so we can afford it, and we get used to going back and forth, getting used to how we're going to get from the car to the boat, and obviously going back for the car occasionally. And like you see now boaters, they've often got those electric scooters and they're off and they get their shopping and they move their car and so on. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
We have to see how it fits into our life. So if we get a GRP, it's within budget, it's practice, and then if it all works out, we can do a trade-in or we can do a private sale and we'll get a narrowboat in a year or two.
Yeah.
But the Triumph didn't sell.
Yeah, so that's going to have to be listed somewhere else.
But you know how these things work?
There has to be a reason.
Sometimes we believers in that, fate. But sometimes when things don't sell, you get a private message next day from someone saying, I was watching the auction, but it didn't sell. Is it still for sale? And then you can directly deal with that person and so on. So I've still got my fingers crossed. Listing an auction and not selling is not always a waste of time. Sometimes it does lead that it got
can
someone's
still
attention.
Yeah.
Because they can still contact you if they had it in their watch list.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be relisting it because it costs 15 quid.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I'll put it in classic car and what's it called? Classic car.
Classic Car Weekly.
It's going to go in there
Yeah, Classic Car Weekly.
and see if we get anything from that.
Yeah, you never know.
Never know. There's no
Never
rush on
know.
these things.
So, shall we tell them the reason why I was on the towpath walking?
Yeah, try let Jack in first.
Okay.
Right. I'll let Jack in and then you can tell him.
Okay. And Jenny has sent you a picture.
Oh, I like a picture.
And hello, Wayne. So yeah, while she was chatting
Hey,
away.
Wayne, come
So
in.
hello.
Coming in or are you playing the video? One.
But yeah, just oh, we got the countdown happening. Jack doesn't want to come in. Oh, he does. He knows the 1, 2, 3. And you boy, hi.
You can have one of these.
You're getting a treat. You're getting a treat.
Sit down then.
Oh, he's getting a treat.
I'm back.
There we
Thank
go.
you for waiting patiently. Okay. I feel cruel sort of saying anything. Oh, Jack was with David a minute ago.
Yeah.
So I feel cruel in the sense that I'm not, believe me, I'm not knocking Peggy in any way. This was a trial, the kayak. So you tell him your experience.
So obviously I've done canoeing before, which is in a solid canoe.
It was a lot of years ago.
So I helped inflate the kayak.
That went really well.
That went up really quickly. But it comes with its own pump, and it really did go up really quickly. Then we set it all up,
There's a big motorbike going by.
got it on the water, on the canal. The first bit I had to do was try and climb in. I managed to get in.
She did manage to get in,
got
it
in
did
there.
move, and not of doing it before, I did think she was going to go.
It really did lean to one side. And I was trying to feel balanced, but my equilibrium in myself wasn't so equal.
Equilibrium in yourself.
Yes.
That's how you're going to describe getting in a kayak.
No, it wasn't. And I started to panic.
I've now got to play a game of rope so that you'd be quiet.
I started to panic. I had a panic attack. I said,
I think
start of a
Peggy
panic
had-
attack.
I think, honestly,
I
think Peggy
started
had a
to
panic
lose
attack.
shortness of breath. My
She was-
heart was racing, and I could feel and I was starting to shake.
you were
I was-
hyperventilating.
I had to really try and calm myself down, which I think I did really well actually.
Took you a little while.
It did take me about 5 minutes, but I did do it. And I was like, I have to get out. I've got to get out. I just can't. I physically felt sick. And I have been on boats and that, and I don't feel sick. I don't get seasick. And I really did feel like I was going to puke. So, but there were so many people walking past, and I was like, I can't do this. I just can't do it. So I calmed down, wait for everybody to go past. There was a boat already moored up behind us, and luckily the
I
chap
think that made it worse
there was
because there was about 5 people on it, and that was a river cruiser.
and the chap behind, and one of the chaps who already left the boat, because there was an elderly gentleman sat there just reading, came back with a takeaway coffee for him. And as he came back, and I just went, excuse me, do you mind just holding on to the boat for me? I know it sounds really silly. There's 2 of you holding on to it, so I feel safer to get out. He had no
Because of the
issues
length.
at all.
Because of the length, it's 10 foot.
Yeah, it's so long, because it's made for 2 people.
It's 10 foot. So if he
So
held
he
the front
held-
and I held the
No, he held the back.
that way round.
Chloe held the front, and I managed to get out. The moment I was out, it literally felt like something had lifted off of me. It felt, I just don't know why. When I got on the kayak, suddenly I had like a panic attack. I just don't know why.
It was a full-on panic attack. Peggy had water in her eyes.
So
She was hyperventilating.
I helped.
She felt really scared.
I did, and I don't know why. So I helped Chloe get into it,
That made my heart go. 'Cause I hadn't done it before. So
and
yeah,
then
it
she
slid
was
in.
off.
I got in okay, but you got to sort of lift yourself
gotta
up onto
try-
the seat, and
Yeah.
I wasn't.
And because it's inflatable, you can't. You
I
can't
was
just
a little
lift
bit
yourself up.
worried to move myself onto the seat. I must admit, I'll get it right. I sympathised.
No, you didn't. She says sympathise. Sorry.
That's a standing joke with Peggy's radio show in the week.
Yeah.
Sympathised with Peggy, not sympathised. Because my heart did rate. My heart raced. I was like, "Whoa, it's all moving." I don't know, but I'd never done it before. No experience to fall back on. I did sit in the boat. It did feel all right, and that was okay. Then Peggy had to walk off to the car to go and change your shoes and so
Because
on.
I already put my I've got some shoes that are designed to that if you go surfing or go canoeing, kayaking, whatever. They're designed for water sports. So I had those on. So I had to go back to the car to take them off and
Because at
get
this
my shoes.
time, I was still in
In the-
mindset that if I can do this, I'm going to go from Avon Aqueduct to
And-
Dundas Aqueduct, which is 3 miles.
Yeah.
And Peggy don't want to be walking in them shoes.
No.
So I waited
So
for
I
you.
went back to the car and got my shoes and dropped off the second paddle that I still had in my hands. Then walked back and Chloe was ready to go.
By that time, I'd already gone
Over
the aqueduct, back, over, back,
back.
and I've done it 4 times.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it anymore because I didn't want to get caught on the aqueduct if a boat had come along, because there's nowhere for me to go.
No, there isn't.
So I waited for Peggy. Peggy come along, and then I got 1.5 miles up the canal, which doesn't sound a lot in normal terms, but on water, 1.5 miles is quite a lot.
Especially going past all the narrow boats.
Well, when you think a narrowboat goes between
Between 2
2
and
or 3
4,
miles,
2 and 4 miles per hour
well, so they normally only move 2 to 4 miles
a
if they're
day.
just plodding along. Excuse me.
Right, before you stop then, I'm going to say
Oh.
hello the nice man.
Hi,
The
nice
nice-
man.
nice
He's
man
finally
one.
broke his rope.
Oh, has he funny chewed it? Oh yeah.
He's had this rope. Can I show the people, please?
No, no, he's playing.
He's had this rope, and it's a figure. Right, you have
It was a figure of 8.
It was a figure of 8, and he's had that rope about 4 years. And I've always been wondering, because we played tug of war on it, when it was going to go. And he's just literally chewed through it. So we need to replace that. And all the
Froggy!
pet shops that we've been to, there's no figure of 8 rope, not long enough, because that was big, wasn't it?
Hmm.
You can get figure of 8 small ones, but I mean, he's not a blimmin'
He's
Jack
not.
Russell,
No,
is he?
he's not. He's a collie cross springer.
He's a big dog. He's bigger than normal collie dogs.
Hi, Froggy.
Hi, Froggy.
So yeah, so
So
we
that
done-
was Peggy's experience of a kayak.
the
I
inflatable one.
thought she was going to have a heart attack.
I got in and I managed to get out,
I didn't know
and
how I was going to get her out of there.
yeah, but thankfully that man held on to the back end of the kayak for me to get out. I knew it was solid against that wall, the bank, I could get up, and that was it. I was fine.
I got out of it easier than I thought I would get out of it. 'cause
Yeah, but I had my feet on it.
Yeah, but that...
I was trying to hold it
because
in
of getting
place.
you out of it.
You did miss the kayaking, Froggy.
So with kayaking, I didn't want to drop my mobile phone in the water.
Snafu.
Because even though they say they're waterproof, you drop your phone in the canal,
You're not getting it back.
you're not getting it back, are you? You can't see where it's gone. So I didn't want to drop my phone in the canal, so I wrapped my phone in a waterproof, and there's a good zippable pocket in the
Life jacket.
in the life jacket.
Actually, those life jackets, I have to say, the pockets were brilliant in them. It
Yeah.
had 1, 2, 3,
Big one on your back.
4. Yeah, but with this one here
Yeah.
was 4, 5, and 6, because it was actually 3 in one there.
What was it?
Yeah, and then there was a larger one on the back, and that's not including the actual inflatable bit, the bits, the padding, the
Yeah,
buoyancy
the life
bit.
jackets are really good.
They were, yeah, they were
So I
really
got my
good.
phone in there, but I only took
I also
one
put-
photo.
I also gave her a plastic bag to pop it in. I've got a sealed bag to put them in.
But what I have done is we've ordered a GoPro because it's going to solve 2 problems. First problem is it's fully waterproof.
Yep.
It can clip on the life jacket.
Yep.
So if I go kayaking, I can take you guys with us. I can
Yep.
just click when I want it to record.
And
that'd be good.
and the second thing is so I can then clip it onto me while I go for my training walks and also the main walk itself. Because when I'm out walking training, I am not going to keep stopping to take video clips, which
She moans at me.
because I'm there to practice. I've got to get on with the walk. So like yesterday when I did the just over 12 miles, we did take photos, but you can take them as you're walking. Especially if you've just gone through a gate or something, you can just take a photo. Other than that, no, you got to carry on walking, because if you stop, you'll find that you start to ache. What was that from Froggy? And if you fall in and get wet, we get to see the funny footage. Oh, yes!
And me, I'll watch you back too. The wind's getting me, there's a rock. You'll probably hear me as well. If you hear me lots of You're trying to sympathise that.
Sympathise.
What model kayak have you got?
It's called a Challenger 2.
Challenger K2. And I think the K2 just meant it was kayak two people.
2 people, because there was a K1 and a K2.
Yeah. So it's a 2-person kayak Challenger. To be fair, I was impressed with it because it blew up, as in inflated.
Inflated with the pump that they provide.
You do the base first, the bit you're going to sit on is number 1. You
And
blow
then-
that up. That took nothing. That took nothing
minute,
at all.
maybe?
A minute, yeah. And they give you this big ass pump. Like,
It's quite a
that
decent
circumference.
size, yeah.
So you're not.
It's about that circumference, but it's quite small in itself, so it's quite compact for you to carry.
So about a minute to blow the base up. You seal that up. Then you do number 2. Not doing number 2. Do number 2.
So then you pump up the actual the body and the top bit. Then
That took about a minute and a half.
yeah,
Wasn't hard at all.
then you got this tiny little cushion. It's in a very odd shape. I will say that when you first see it. And you pump that up, and that goes at the front underneath for you to put your feet against. So if you're sat at the front, you then can put your feet against it. Something to give you
Push.
where
Well,
you're moving.
This is the problem where apparently it's there. So when you're moving, you can push your feet against it to stay where you are. But the whole time that I did the kayaking, I ended up moving further and further and further back into the boat. So by the time I finished, I was almost into the middle.
And then the 2 seats, obviously you got to pump them up as well, and they were quite quick to pump up. They took ages to get down when you had to let the air back out of them, but they went up no problem. And that's 2 sections again as well, so you can do that either way. So you can either do the back and the seat bit, or you can do the seat in the back.
Now the seats, if you imagine the old Morris Minor seats, they were round on the back like that with the little cushion, and they do have straps on them to stop them going further back into the boat, and that you can use them as a support. But I didn't find that worked very well. They kind of, instead of staying that shape and supporting your back, it kind of went over like that, and the straps had been down the bottom kept the seat there to a degree, but the seat was moving like that. So I don't know. Having a first go, I've got nothing else, no other experience to go on.
Right, Froggy says, nice. Inflatables are quite sturdy, difficult to capsize compared to hard plastic ones. At least I found that out several times. Ha ha ha.
So the solid ones do capsize more?
You can capsize in them, but when I did it, the only time it capsized is when I had to capsize it myself.
There was a couple of, I was surprised because there was when I say young couple, a couple in their, probably in their 30s, was in a rigid hire kayak, because that's a kayak, wasn't it? And about a 14-footer, that blue one behind us. 14-foot kayak, fully open, and they had hard seats. It was a hard, rigid, maybe a fiberglass shell, and that rocked quite a bit, and they weren't wearing life jackets.
No, they weren't.
And that was from a hire company. Yeah. They one couple pulled up next to us. And
we're still on the bank pumping up the actual kayak at this point, getting ready to pop to try and get the seats in and stuff. and yeah, they were quite he wasn't. She was trying to push past us to try and get to the mooring point, which happened to be actually that side of us, being used by the other boat. So, but she was quite rude about. She
brushed past us and then saw it was in use and sort of just sort of.
And then she's just she's trying to stand by you to wait, and he's there going, "You need to come away. They're trying to set up their condition." She goes, I know. So,
but anyway, she was the only one. Everyone else was ever so politely.
But she was also rude when they went past you as well, when they went to go into the bridge, because she was trying to get past. She was trying to get faster to go past you, and she kept splashing him because she was going so fast. She was splashing him because he was sat behind, and he went.
See that.
And he was. I actually heard. I think I've actually got it on camera. He was saying to her, "You've just got me for a second time in a row." So he was telling her off. Hopefully, I've got that on video.
That'd be funny to watch back.
Desmond's here. Never fear, Desmond's here.
Howdy.
No, we're not both great swimmers, Snafu.
I haven't swam in years, but I have in my head, I ain't gonna blimmin' drown.
Froggy also says, I've kayaked most of the Welsh coast over the years in a sea kayak. Well done, you.
A sea kayak?
Brilliant.
Wow. You got to be quite brave.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be quite brave. I mean, the Kennet and Avon on that 15-mile pound is probably the most stillest water I'm going to get.
You weren't on the 15-mile pound then?
Were I?
No, you were actually on between locks. Because Bradford and Avon's got a lock.
Oh. Still.
It's quite still, yeah, it's fairly still there.
There was only one bit that I had a problem with, and there's a slow curving bend at one point. And as I approached the slow curving bend, there was a lot of wind coming off of the field, flowing into that pit, and that was pushing me up against the bank. And when I tried to go forward, it was turning me more than I was going forward. I got past it. I catered for it. I got past it. Yeah, Jenny, I love boats. We're going to get into it. It's going to be a retro thing. We're going to be exploring different boats and what works. And
I have just allowed your comment, Froggy, because it just come up because of some of the wording you used. But Froggy actually's put, only 2 times out I've genuinely shat myself at 2 places. The witches and the bitches. YouTube them when you got time and you'll see why, lol.
Okay, do you screenshot that?
Well, I think that's quite easy to remember.
You're going to remember that, eh?
I will screenshot it though. There you go, screenshot.
There you go, we've saved that. It's always good to save these things.
Yeah, it is.
And Jenny, who's watching now, Jenny, you're very good. Every time we have a live, she sends me links to different places and so on. And we do take all of this on board. We always take all your comments on board. Apart from the one that shouts, "Don't buy a Triumph 1300." That happened.
Who bought it?
I did.
Yeah, there you go, you see. What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with you?
What?
Come on then, up.
No.
You want to go in between, do you? Come on then. I'm just being shoved out the shop.
Come here.
Turn around then.
Turn around. Sit.
I don't want to see you.
Your phone's just gone down.
My phone's just gone down.
Ugh, and he's knocked off YouTube off my phone. There we go.
Nice car. It is a nice car, and it was ahead for its time. It really was ahead for its time.
I will tell you this as well.
There's a channel I don't watch too much of because I think anyone should have a go at YouTube. But I find her voice.
Oh, Jackie boy. Someone says, "Hello, Bob."
I find her voice a little bit
Hello,
annoying.
Bob.
There's a channel called I Drive a Classic, and she's just bought a Triumph 1300.
Jenny's on there. She's saying hello. Jenny's on there. Yes.
You met Jenny, Jackie.
You met Jenny.
Up.
You've met Jenny. Ah, thank you. Right, I'll just repeat what. So, Froggy put, lol, YouTube blocked me talking about birds, great blue and long-tailed are apparently not allowed.
Yeah, because of the TIT word.
And Froggy says, start
Oh,
out
and-
nice and slow on calm waters until get used to it.
Yeah, I
It's
think
good
just a case of getting used to it.
exercise and a cool way to see places. Certainly is.
It was a total different perspective because we have, I can't say the W word, we've been along there and being in the water in the middle of the canal, because the Kennet and Avon's ever so wide. If you've never been to the Kennet and Avon, it's a very, very wide canal. You would get two Dutch barges past each other.
You can get 2 wide beams.
Yeah, you probably get 2 wide beams past each other. So in places, it's very wide.
There's a few narrow places where old bridges and old locks used to be, but other than that, yeah, you can get. I have actually physically seen 2 wide beams go past.
So to be
each other.
in the middle of that body of water is a different perspective. It's very nice. And the other thing I must say, every narrowboater that passed me, apart from one, I said to him, hello, happy cruising, you know, have a safe trip and that. They were all looked down and went, thank you very much, enjoy your day and so on. They were all friendly.
Oh, Jack!
Come on, Jack.
You're not
Yeah.
sitting on me. Go on.
I think the only time that the only one wasn't,
Get your
was
boat.
just, I just think it was probably the end of his day or we'd,
I think was that the holiday home.
Yeah,
yeah. It's probably at the end of his tether by the kids.
we follow the K&A
Do you
forum,
watch Gary Captain Phillip?
and the forum for the K&A always say that the rentals aren't friendly.
But then I found that when I did the
They rent
walk the
the
K&A last year, because it was all the liveaboarders, all the part-timers that would always say hello.
They even sponsored you.
They sponsor. Yeah, I had a few sponsor me, and I actually had a couple of them who were following my progress, and because I got near them, they were looking out for me and asked if I needed any water, if I needed a food, if I needed a toilet break, anything. Which was absolutely brilliant. But the holidayers, they were the ones in the rental boats that just always looked miserable. They didn't want to say hello or anything. It was kind of...
Got to do this for Desmond. Oh, not for Desmond. I always call you Desmond. It's because Desmond Donders. I read Desmond. I read Desmond.
Be right back.
Desmond's the van. Dave, got to do this.
Be right back.
Back.
I'm back.
Right, we've waffled on for ages.
And we're not even doing a
And you-
Desmond Donders waffle.
Shush. We've waffled on for yes, it
Pepsi
was a
Fix,
Pepsi
yeah,
Fix.
yeah.
Right, we've waffled on for ages. Is there anything you'd like to know? 'Cause I've got a whole month to go before another live. Is there anything you'd like to know from? I was going to say for a month. I don't quite. Just barking.
So for anyone who does want to sponsor me on my walk, any donation, it'd be brilliant. You can go to
We forgot.
www.justgiving.com/retro-C2C. Like, no, the reason why I went to say Retro Ramblers, but that's the team page.
I'm playing tug of war again with the dog.
So it's justgiving.com/retro-C2C, and that's coast to coast.
Donate £1.
Yeah, pound's fine.
There's 10 of you there. That's £10. Should get near her target.
Yeah, real.
Well done. Yes, is there anything you'd like to know? Welcome
When are
back,
you
Dave.
heading to Wales to come castle spotting?
Oh yeah, it came up on my time up the other day. That one,
I went Morley Castle.
Morley Castle. That's it.
Hi, Harry.
Came up on my time hop, the Morley Castle.
Yeah.
So when are we going to go to Wales? Tumbleweed.
Sorry, I'm typing hi, Harry. I have been typing hello to everybody as soon as I said hello.
Oh, fair dues.
So I was just being
Hi,
polite.
Harry.
Okay.
Mentioned you earlier.
We
All
did.
good things.
Yes. When are we going to Wales? We can do it for the bank holiday.
No, can't. I'm going kayaking.
The Saturday I'm walking. The Sunday or the Monday you can go kayaking. So there's 2 days. It's a bank holiday.
Are we allowed in Wales now?
I think you are,
Yeah,
because
they
they're
are.
allowed
They have different rules to us.
No, I'm sure you're allowed to travel into Wales now. I'm sure, because there's a work colleague who in the office, and she lives in Wales.
PM us
Yeah, PM us.
and see if you're available one of the 2 days.
So either the Sunday the 2nd or Monday the 3rd.
Because didn't you say Morlaix was close to you, I think?
Hmm.
Yes, all allowed in Wales now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you're close to Morlaix. It's a nice hike. I wouldn't mind doing that one again. But I'd like to probably go further back. I'm going to find a track. You've now got me to have a look at Strava again with their route planner.
Could have done with that the first time, because the bloody first time. Am
Yeah,
I
but
allowed to say that?
The first time we
The
went,
first time we went, we kind of got down some train track that wasn't there anymore, and then we got to this guy after walking aimlessly for a long period of time.
bearing in mind at that time I'm wearing daps and a white dress.
Yes. And the guy took one look at Peggy and went,
You're not going to get there.
I can't do a Welsh accent, but
Yeah, you're not
in
going
a
to get
Welsh
there.
accent, he said, you ain't going to get there in that. And he said, it's right up there, and it's miles. You're miles out your way.
We looked up. I made it without even a single drop
Well,
of
we
mud on me.
clambered up there.
Clambered, yeah. And I didn't get one single bit of mud on me. Right, hang on, I'll read them in
Go
Wales.
on, read the comments.
So yes, we're allowed in
Desmond
Wales.
saying, Dave saying, so often going to call
Dave
you
has
Desmond.
been saying hello to everybody as well. So
Yeah.
has Jenny. Dave says Scotland is open from tomorrow, and I think Wales is already open.
I'm sorry, we won't be going to Scotland.
Froggy put 6
That's a
people.
long old one.
Hello. Froggy put 6 people from 6 households can meet outdoors too. But yeah, Morlaix. Yeah, you have spelled it wrong. Is close to where I live. We'll message you later though. Brilliant. And Froggy also put hey Desmond Onders, because where Dave put hello everybody.
And Lindsay.
And Lindsay. Well, Lindsay hasn't said hello yet, so I don't know if Lindsay's watching.
Well, we'll still say hello.
Harry's put, as people are considering a boat project, you might be interested in the Ship Happens YouTube channel. Slightly different scale of boat though. Ooh.
I'm interested in all channels, because in this van,
You do have a TV,
we have a TV over there,
which has got a Fire Stick linked up to it. Because
but we mainly use that for YouTube. So when I fire that up and we put because that's 14-inch, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's 14-inch TV, which is huge to us, because we normally watch most things on the phone.
Yeah.
Then we watch things on this, what you're on now, the iPad thing, which
My
is
tablet.
8-inch, 10.
No, I
No,
think that's 11.
Well, that's 14. That's a lot bigger.
Yeah, that's 11.
Okay. Well, that's 14 over there. And it makes such a difference. I like the old days when we used to go to Airbnbs and they have these 50, 60-inch TVs on their smart
Actually,
TVs. And we
Tell you an
lay
interested thing.
there. We put our feet up and you do this.
You link it on your phone.
You're watching it on your phone. You go, yeah, I'll do that cast thing. Boom. And it's massive.
But
You're watching Dave doing his Wednesday waffle, and you're like, look, I can see all the places on the map.
but what's interesting about doing the Airbnbs, one time we was actually in an Airbnb watching a program about farms.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And found another Airbnb place to go because of it, which we were meant to go before lockdown, but because of lockdown that got cancelled. But the guy, because we was going to be one of the first people to stay in his brand new Airbnb, he actually still honoured the special rate that we had booked at, which I thought was fantastic. And that was when we stayed in Bertha's box.
Bertha's box. We shared it with you guys. If you haven't seen it, it was about September, October last year.
September.
Yeah, the video would have come out probably
End of September, October.
So end
Beginning
of
of
September
October.
last year, Bertha's box.
Oh.
It's near Hereford. We had a wonderful weekend. It was a lovely location. It was a Bedford horse box, 7.5 ton that had been converted. Beautiful job. It was really cosy. And we hope we've done justice on filming it. It was a really, really good weekend. Hi Pebbles! Jack's down here. He says hello. He's giving me an eyeball now.
What are you doing, boy? Are you playing with your rope? you.
So if you've got any burning questions, anything you'd like to ask us, now's the opportunity. Fire away.
Yeah, fire away. Just
Fire away. Come on, do you want to come and say hello? Do you want to go in the middle again? Up. Sit down.
oh my god.
Sit down.
Good boy.
Yes. Look up. Yeah. I can't see the screen now.
Don't worry, Jack's face is there.
Yeah. So, for those who just joined, the Montego is still in progress. The Triumph didn't sell. We're still saving. I can't get in the screen. We're still saving for a boat. We're going to try and do lots of different boat adventures to decide what we're going to buy. Your rope has completely fallen apart and you've got some black thing with you.
What's that?
Is that inside?
That's inside.
That's
That's the
inside rope?
elastic.
Oh right, I've never seen the elastic inside the boat before. This used to be a figure of 8. Jack now needs a new large figure of 8. If I just get it.
Oh my god!
That used to be a figure of 8, and we play tug of war with it. But it's taken him 4 years, and it just snapped tonight. And I've not been able to find one. We went to like one of the home bargains places, and they had a big chunky rope.
But it had a squeaker in it. Jack doesn't like
No,
squeakers.
Jack can't have anything with a squeaker in it.
He doesn't like them.
So we don't.
Not as in, he just barks at it and leaves it alone. That's it. That's what he
Oh,
does.
he's going to pull me out the screen. We're still playing tug of war with it. Anyway, you just sit down a minute.
He is. Good boy.
So yeah, we have to find one of them.
Yeah.
If you know anywhere that does a large, metre long, figure of 8 rope without a squeaker in it, speak, you speak.
Pebble says Smudge is having a phantom pregnancy. She needs to adopt some pups. Oh. I would say contact your local shelter or something to see if they've got any puppies that's been handed in where the mum's gone, and see if she can adopt them that way. That might be something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce that name, it just came up at the bottom, but hi.
Vida Polly Grey.
All right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, I couldn't see it from over there. It was, yeah. Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to the channel, thank you. Any burning questions we want to know? So, Faith.
That would be good. She has meat to feed them. Yeah, I would say speak to the vets or especially the local sanctuaries or that.
She must feel she's quite far along then.
Yeah, because if their dog's gone, the mum's gone, and they've got puppies, I'm sure they would be happy for you to foster them, at least until they're ready to be rehomed.
Mm-hmm.
And because you foster them, I think they pay for all their treatment until they're ready to be rehomed. So that's pretty good.
Find out, yeah, do find out.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't mentioned this evening, Faith, the transit camper van, our original home.
But we have made a start on her.
We have.
And now she's not here.
No, that didn't go too well.
So we can't work on her at the moment.
Well, we can. Anyway, we're beating around the bush. Right, Faith hasn't moved since we came back from Cornwall
In October.
doing the wilding job in October.
Which was for
I'm useless
Rest to Road
with
Trip.
Rest to Road Trip. I'm useless with channel names.
Rest to Road Trip.
So we came back, we parked her up, and she hasn't moved since. Obviously, we go in her.
We kept going in, and in fact, it was
But
great because she had a
something
solar
else-
panel. We just used to put batteries and stuff on there to charge.
Something else went in there. So
Hi, Lindsay.
a small gap was made up where the diesel heater is, and a rodent got up there. Now at the time I couldn't understand how the rodent had got up there now when not before, but the answer is in a moment. So the vehicle was parked up against a workshop, the door on obviously the adjacent side so we could get in and out. Now what happened is this rodent got in and it made its way along, felt comfy, thought this is nice in here. Managed to open a cupboard and helped itself to, they weren't called pot noodles, were they? But the same.
No, they weren't. No, it helped itself to the rice.
First of all, it had some rice.
The packet pouches, microwave ones.
And then it had a chow mein style pot noodle.
Yeah.
It did like that.
So but also chewed through some toothpaste.
So then it had the toothpaste. Then it made its way back to where it came in, but decided to chew the base of the seat and take about half a foot of carpet with it. So it destroyed the carpet in faith. At that point, I visited the van and discovered the damage, and I put a cage in there, a friendly cage. The cage didn't work to begin with. It found, was it a packet of crisps or something? It found something else from a higher up cupboard, and it dragged that out.
No, it was the top shelf of the bottom cupboard.
And it ate whatever it got next to the cage, and the cage didn't catch it.
No.
So on the third night, I reset the cage with some different bait in it, and snap.
It didn't go snap.
It captured
closed
it.
It
closed it in there, and our good friend David took it for a long walk.
Yeah.
Very long walk, far away from here.
David's put a picture of a rat.
It was one of them. They're only very young.
It was only small. It was
So
a baby.
anyway, well, I was thought that's good. It's gone. Now, Peggy went in there and cleared all the food out and took everything out the cupboards and binned anything was contaminated and so on. Had a sort through, and we sorted that out. We then went off and got a new replacement hob and oven for Faith.
Yeah.
And then you had to go at sorting out the overhead bit.
Because it used to, unlike this, which is just flat apart from the cushion overhanging slightly, because there's nothing to stop it, it had a lip that would come out like this to make it into a big bed, into like a king size. And it would overhang probably about quite a distance. If you go to stand up, you could bang your head quite hard on it.
It went over a foot.
So I undid the hinges because it was meant to fold up. So I undid the hinges and I actually just pulled it out. So we actually can gain that space back. And the bit that's now open from the cab, we're going to cut that piece down so it's going to be half the size and put that back in. And we're going to kit it all out.
Like this.
So it's flush like this, and then it can be kitted out for storage. I don't think we'll use it for a bed again.
There will be a video and it will be explaining that.
Yeah.
So.
And I also took out the boarding that we'd used to try and stop the dog from barking, even though there were still gaps.
Horses in the New Forest.
Oh, horses in the New Forest was a nightmare. You come out of there with tinnitus, I'm sure you did.
Tinnitus, yeah.
So I've now put, it's going to sound wrong, it sounds really odd, like a frosted caravan window in between the cab and the back. Now there's still a small gap, which I already said if I got the tongue groove stuff like this and doubled them up and then put them in, then it would actually fit and tidy that off really nicely.
So that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And fair play to Peggy for I was a bit against using that window.
But if it's lovely, if it's nice,
it does fit and it does sort of look right in place. So we'll go with it.
Yeah.
So we jump forward to yesterday. Nearly said tomorrow. We jump forward to yesterday.
Back to the future.
And I've got a Volkswagen T4 van job in. I don't want to keep doing all these jobs, but this
is a friend.
long-term friend.
Yeah.
They bought all the panels, so I've got to do this T4 van for them. So I've been needing to make the room here. Went to get in Faith yesterday to move her to other storage, and she don't start.
Upon investigation?
Can you guys guess why? Under investigation, she doesn't start. Give you 30 seconds while I drink if I can. I think you're trying to guess it. What's this, 24? Oh, you're doing countdown.
Yay! Yes! Well done, David.
The damn thing, that's how I say it on YouTube, the damn thing had gone up
Mine
behind...
stole the battery. No, the battery was definitely still there.
I probably would have preferred that. The damn thing had gone up into the dash
and
chewed through into the engine bay and destroyed the main wiring loom.
So Ratty had got in.
Ratty had eaten my wiring loom.
And that was how we think it got in and out as well, because it chewed through the rubber.
Well, it came up through the diesel heater.
But it also got out that way because it chewed through the rubber bung. So you can actually see straight through into the cab, and the wires it's actually chewed through. So
Saturday consisted of
me walking.
pulling the loom through as far as it go into the engine bay, cutting it, splicing it, joining up each cable. My good friend John came over and soldered, we used a solar, and soldered all the cables one by one back together.
Insufficient easy start.
Cleaned it, wrapped them individually, and then wrapped the wiring loom back, put it in place.
Yeah.
I had purchased some new battery terminals because the Transit for some reason has cables coming from different places and they all connect up at the terminal. So I bought better terminals. We fitted them at the same time since we were there working. And she started first turn of the key.
And I had gone for a walk, so I left Chloe to it.
Drove her forward, got her out the yard in one go. And thought, that's a strange noise. And she's got a very, very flat tyre, the side that was up against the workshop.
So we couldn't see it anyway.
So that's why she had dropped a good half a foot. And that's why Ratty was able to jump up the height it did. I don't know how high a rat can jump, but it never did it the year before and the year before that. But obviously with the flat tyre, closer to the ground, because they're old-fashioned big tyres, aren't they? Yeah. So obviously when you let them down, it drops a lot in height, and that's how Ratty managed to get onto the chassis and in. Luckily the tyre went up enough to get it to the storage, and I've ordered another one because they don't stock them.
Yeah, because we have to have commercial grade tyres onto it.
Got to have commercial grade. If you're going to have a motorhome, got to have commercial grade tyres on there.
Yeah.
Remember that when ordering, because you give them the tyre size, they won't automatically order you commercial grade. And you need them. You do need commercial grade.
We got commercial grade on this as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a sod getting tyres for, because we've got 6 of them.
Yeah, because it's got a twin...
It's twin, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not twin axle, but it's twin wheel.
Twin wheeled at the back.
Yeah. Dual wheel on. I don't know what the term for it is, but either there. Anyway, so that's
It's
what happened with Faith. So she's in a state at the minute, as in the cooker is all out, and I'm going to have a go tomorrow night.
Hopefully, Chloe is going to have someone help her to fit the cooker in.
We'll hopefully get the cooker in tomorrow night.
And then I need to get... I've got some offcuts of this anyway, and see if they are the right size to go in, and if they are, then that be put in over the next week as well, when I've got an evening free.
So we're going to give you a tour of Faith when she is spruced up. We haven't done any, we'll do the outside, we're going for a little trip soon, and when we get back from the trip then we'll spruce the outside up and give her a refresh.
Yeah, because we've got to go.
The other thing I've done is, all through the winter she leaked. I'll give a shout out, and if you've not watched it, Martin Cow,
Houseless Not Homeless.
Houseless Not Homeless, he's gone and bought himself a square, is it a Renault, something like that, and a squarish motorhome, and blimey, I've never seen it.
That pausing.
I've never seen a roof leak like it.
Not even Faith leak like that.
He has tried so many times to fix that roof and it's still pausing. Faith's not that bad, but a leak is a leak. She had one in the middle skylight that is.
Yeah.
And when I got up there this time, the sealant that had been put in 3 or 4 years ago had gone very brittle. You know when you get like a 70s toy, a 70s plastic toy, that really old plastic just cracks and... Yeah, it gone like that. So I dug it all out. And the only thing I had available to me at the time, which someone gave me ages ago and I've never used it, is some lead sealant. So if you're using flexible leading on a roof, they got this special stuff that they use to seal it with. and I've been given a tuber ages ago, and I just thought it's really good stuff to work with. So I got it all out, and I've put it all around, and I've done that. So hopefully, I'm quite confident if this stuff works, the middle skylight's going to be okay. I also spread it around the main culprit, which is the front one. I'm hoping that's going to be okay. I was going to do a back one, but I ran out.
Froggy says, I'm glad for the GRP roof on mine. It's over an inch thick, so not going to leak anytime soon.
Inch thick.
And Harry says, boats leak too, but sometimes not just from the top. Beware.
Ship going down.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's for life, isn't it? That's going to be our next adventure.
Yep.
Yeah. Luckily, I didn't get a puncture in the kayak today.
I made her scared because I was putting down one part that she handed me before she even was started to take down the main kayak. And as I pushed down, of course, it lets out the air, and she really thought she had a puncture.
And when?
Today, when you got out of the kayak, you literally just turned it around, and as you turned it over, I had that piece in my hand.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
triangle, yeah.
yeah.
Started squeezing it. I thought, hang on, I'm turning the kayak around. It's
hissing.
at me. Better not have a puncture already. It's new.
No, it was
no.
me putting down one part of it. It took longer to put it down than it did to put it up.
It's not where the air is really coming from, is it?
No, it's coming from your ass.
Oh dear. So yeah, it was a good day. I enjoyed it. But yeah, anyway, we're rattling on. We haven't had any burning questions. We've had when are we going to Wales? We'll sort that.
Yeah.
We will sort that. Peggy will have to get another job to pay for fuel.
What about? Just ignore her.
Oh dear. Well, at least we got to pay for the bridge anymore.
No, that's true.
The bridge is free now. I mean, towards the end that was a rip-off, wasn't it? Blimey. It's like 12 quid to get a car over. Like,
Yeah, so we just did what everybody else did. You went round
yeah.
Gloucester, go round and just come back over the
Through-
bridge to come back.
Through the what's
Go
that
through
forest?
Gloucester, Forest of Dean.
Forest of Dean. Yeah, go up that way.
Jenny has just sent you a tune.
Oh, Postman Pat.
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and a black and white cat.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah, Forest of Dean was a nice drive too. It was, wasn't it, Froggy?
It was a nice drive through there. And like you say, you still want the experience of the Severn Bridge, so you went on the way back.
Yeah, because it's free to come back.
Years and years and years ago, and I couldn't tell you the name of the first services you come across as you come over the M4.
Monmouthshire.
Is it
The Monmouth. Yeah, the Monmouth.
It was Monmouthshire Services. I'm sure it had a different name
Monmouth
now.
Services. And it had a Wendy's.
Yeah, years and years ago. We're talking the very, very early 2000s. We
Yeah,
used to
because Connor
pay.
was only little.
We used to fill the car with people. And we used to pay
All
to go over the
chipping
bridge
together.
just to go to Wendy's because it was the only one. We never had one
This side.
within driving distance of us to this side. But there was one in that services.
Oh, the burgers were lovely.
They were really lovely. They were like proper
And
wrapped
they
in
were-
foil. It was-
And they were the size of their pictures.
yeah, and they were, yeah. So we were all excited, and we did that once a month as our little treat. It was me, Colin, and a few others. We'd all bundle in the car, and we'd get over, and we'd go over the bridge, go to Wendy's, and it was great. And then one month, I said to the guys, I've had a crap month with bank holidays and stuff. Do you want to chip in a few on that? We'll all go to Wendy's. Yeah, let's all get in. We all gets in the car. It's about an hour and a quarter, isn't it? About an hour and a quarter up the motorway. Pays to get across the bridge. We goes into services,
And it's a Burger King.
and it became a Burger King, and it was nowhere near the same. We was all good.
It was quite a few years ago, Jenny, so probably didn't do veggie burgers, and I wasn't veggie then, so I didn't
No,
really...
Peggy was veggie then. She's
Yeah,
veggie now.
I'm a veggie now. And hi, Gina.
Hi, everyone who's just joined.
Yeah, Van Life with Gina says hello, folks.
Oh, well done. Oh, we still haven't made the cut through. This is what this square is behind us. It's not a nice piece of art.
It's the cut.
I've still not cut through into the cab.
The only thing is, I think if you do that, I reckon it'd be really cold in here.
Well, no, you insulate the door, don't you?
Well, I know, but I still reckon it'd be really cold in here. Probably have that feeling of being cold.
So what do you reckon, guys? We've
lived in this van for over a year now.
We were umming and ahhing for a fire exit and that. We wanted this as a way out if the worst scenario and stuff like that. But Faith was starting to leak and the stuff was going bad. We needed more storage. So as soon as this was
livable,
I always say airtight, but I don't mean airtight.
Watertight.
As soon as this was sort of watertight and that, we moved in to this van over a year ago. It's been over a year. We have done stuff over that year, quite bits and bobs, but we've still never cut this through to the cab.
No.
I've done the other side. I've took the window out and I've got it marked all ready to cut this side. But now I'm thinking, do we do it anyway? So I don't know. How about a Houdini hatch? How does that work? Do I need to be like wrapped in chains and stuff? I don't get the Houdini hatch. Just typing again, are you?
I am.
Hi, Si.
And Desolator.
Oh, and hi, Desolator. Welcome. Got any questions for us?
Desolator says, saw your TARDIS welding in engine bay. I have to do round suspension in my Talbot. Need to buy some gas for my MiG. Wondering what you use. Non-gas.
I cheat. A lot of people don't get on with it, but I think I've got a Clark. I don't know if I got a Clark 105 or a Clark 120. If you needed to know, let me know. It's either a Clark 105 or a Clark 120. I can't remember which way round it is because I replaced my welder a couple of years ago, and I got the sort of next model up, and I can't remember which way round they were. But I have the option to do non-gas welding. It's a Clark flux cord 0.9.
0.8.
You can buy a 0.8. I've got 0.9. 0.9.
Won't go through your end now.
Yeah, it's a 1 mil. It's a 1 mil end.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 1 mil brass pivot end, if you know welding. And I get 0.9 wire, and it's flux cord, the 0.6 you're thinking of.
That's what I'm thinking of.
The 0.6 is non-flux. And I don't need any gas. And what you do is, as soon as you arc, it's hard to do it without doing it, but as soon as you arc it, spiral, and you will see the smoke, the shroud, and then you can feed it along and it will burn itself along with the gas. The shroud makes the heat you need. It creates the gas, it burns the gas, gives you the heat along. You'll never ever get as flush a welding with non-gas as you will gas. But also at the same time, I find gas welding, for me, burns an awful lot more holes in stuff than you're filling.
Right, your questions. Si has asked, best flooring for caravans, marine ply? Question mark.
Yes, marine ply. But I think you can get different thicknesses, and you don't want to go for the big heavy stuff because it won't toe level, because it's all, a caravan is perfectly balanced. You have equal weight of it on both sides. That's why when you're loading a caravan, it's crucial that you load front and back equal weight, side and side equal weight, because there's some people make a mistake and they bung all batteries on one side and so on. So if you're replacing the floor, use a marine ply for floor, but go for a medium density. Don't go for I couldn't tell you the sizes, but don't go for the big chunky one. Go for the medium one, strong enough to stand on. If you're always worried, you could always put a batten across, a thin softwood batten across, but go for a medium one.
There you go.
But it has to be marine ply for a floor, because obviously water's going to be hitting it.
Yeah. Because all the splashbacks, so yeah, it just helps.
Going to be hitting it.
Yeah.
but not in the wars.
No.
The wars are made up of a composite, which is, well, on the older Caravans, it's normally an aluminium. So if I do that, yeah, it's normally an aluminium sheet with a frame of 1-inch softwood, which is then packed with insulation foam, like a bit like what you get. You say you buy a new washing machine, you get that packaging, didn't you? That
Polystyrene.
polystyrene, and that is, you bond onto the aluminium a heat-proof, or a glue that can take the heat of the summer, and you glue that on, and then you bond the polystyrene on, and then you can buy a Caravan liner. It's a bit like a very thin board, like a 1.2mm board. You can get thinner, and that has, sometimes they're decorated, you can get all different patterns on one side, and then that you glue again, and that bonds on, and you end up with a really thick, strong shell. And that's how they make the old camper vans. I have rebuilt quite a lot of Bedford Bambas with helping Tim and so on, and I've seen how they're done, helped him fit a few roof replacements and bits and bobs, and that's, once you've bonded those 4 bits together, it's really strong, but it's super light. We have purchased once, well, we didn't purchase it, we got given a Caravan once, that someone had replaced it with boards, and you couldn't pull it, could you?
No.
It was a 2-berth Caravan that someone had replaced the damp with marine ply all the way around, and it just dunk on the front. It was just too flipping heavy. You can't do it. Marine ply is only for the base. But yeah, you need the super, it's called a super composite, and that's how you make a Caravan.
Lyndon is doing it, so it's his problem.
Oh, I'll give Lyndon a bell tomorrow. He probably knows, but
Yeah.
but I've done it rebuilding Bambis for quite a few years, so I know about it, and I need to do one because Faith's, we're back to Faith, the Transit's motorhome, her door for the gas box is completely rotten. It's sort of, the wood's gone bad,
So we
and
need
she
to
doesn't
redo.
quite line up, does she?
No.
She has a gap round it, and it's not quite good. And it's something I would like to do. So when in the summer, when I get Faith back here for storage, after I've done that VW T4, I'll share it with you guys. I'll be peeling back the outer shell on Faith. I will be removing the inner core wooden frame. I'll be replacing it with a nice squarish frame and re-insulating. And when I've got that square frame, we'll be making a door, new hinges, and I'll show you how it's all done. I'm looking forward to that job, actually. I'm quite looking forward to it. It'd be like the old days when we used to build the Bambis. Yeah, quite looking forward to that.
Well, there you go.
But it's all to do with weight.
So do we.
It's all to do with weight. Yeah. Any other questions?
Not yet.
No. Okay. Got a question for you guys.
Ooh.
It was Drive It Day today,
Yes, it was. And we saw a few vehicles.
and we saw quite a few vehicles.
Classics, yeah.
So did you take a classic out,
And if so, what one?
and what one? And if you didn't take a classic out, if you were out and about today, what did you see?
Simon.
Mostly convertibles we saw.
Yeah, it's quite. Simon also says, have you found the other half of that Herald yet to make a full car? No. Desmond was out, lol.
Desmond was out. Well done.
Desmond was out. And did you see any of the classic cars for Drive It Day?
I think we saw an early MG midget,
Yeah.
but it was a chrome bumper version. That was mid-60s. The nicest thing I saw today, which they must have just parked up before I saw it, we saw a 67 Lotus. But I don't know what model Lotus, but it's it was a lovely blue little 2-seater hard top, and it had the wonderful little chrome vents behind the back of the driver, and that, it was lovely.
David says nothing up here, and Lindsay says she took David out.
Wow.
He's a classic.
He's a classic.
And Harry says, took my Blue Express out. Was great fun.
I'm a tad jealous.
No. Sai says, yes, I took my Hunker Junk Metro to Tesco to get some milk. And this bloke offered me 1,500 for it. I didn't realise Russ was fetching so much.
£1,500, eh?
Mm.
What would you get with £1,500? You could have sold that and bought yourself a rusty Mark 1 Mondeo. It probably would have got you a battered Vauxhall Corsa. Well, I think £1,500 was a good investment, Si.
Harry says, Metros have gone silly. I was tempted by one. And David Burridge has said there is a PCSO that they follow on Twitter, and he likes the old classic cars, and he actually takes pics with them sometimes.
Yeah, you have to forward me the link if you ever see anyone. As for Metros getting silly money, yes, crazy money. The one I sold, I think it wasn't last year, it was the year before, the beige one.
Yeah.
I think that's probably, on the road now, that's probably doubled in value in the 2 years that, not Loz, who's got it? The other kid who's got it, but in the 2 years that he's had it, I think it's doubled in value. I was really gutted we couldn't save the 114 we got here. It's not really a Metro, but it is a Metro. Really gutted we couldn't save it, but it was just so rotten, wasn't it?
Harry says he knows of a Citroen AX for sale for £600.
Oh blimey, Citroen AX.
And Simon says
Stay away from it.
one ARX left registered now.
Only one.
That was the green one, wasn't it?
Yeah, we're back to this topic of what would you not sell, what would you not keep. What do you mean, what green one? Come on, you should know what the ARX is. Right, Simon, you know
What
the
about the green
ARX.
one?
So let's see how long it
wasn't
takes
that
Peggy
Mildred?
to work. It was Mildred.
Well, there you go.
Well, she got it quicker than I could say it. But Mildred wasn't green.
What was the green one?
The green one was a Rover 1100 or 111.
Oh, okay.
You're on about the one I sold to the famous lady.
No. The one we had to go down to Wantage Way.
Wantage Way was the white one that we sold to my brother.
Oh, okay.
What's the lady called who I sold the Metro to?
Toya Wilcox.
Right.
Was it
So-
Toya Wilcox?
So if you haven't heard this story,
Was it Toya Wilcox? It was, wasn't it?
that's the singer, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you haven't heard this story,
It was Toya Wilcox. I remember you coming.
a chap purchased, and that was a Metro. It was the very last Rover Metro, H-Reg, 1990. So this chap purchased it, and he said, I'm coming from Devon. I've got to go to London. Then from London, we're coming back, and I'm going to pick this Metro up on the way back. I said, no problem, mate. I'm here all day. Now, isn't it really, really annoying when you're waiting for someone to turn up and they give you a vague time? You don't mind that as such, but when that vague time
Come and goes.
comes and goes, and then they give you the next time and it comes and goes, but you don't know that person, but you've already done the sale. You need to go through with this transaction. Then that becomes really annoying.
It was so late at night when he turned up.
They were going to turn up at about 4, then it was 5, then sorry, it was going to be 6:30.
I think it was more like 11,
7:30.
half 11.
They turned up about 11:15 at night. And then he rang me and said, we can't get to your house because you live in the next street along and the vehicle we're in is too big.
Can't get there.
Could you drive the car over to me? By this time I was so flipping enraged, tired, so on. I said, yeah, no worries, whatever. So I drove round the corner to see this
Huge coach.
bloody big coach it was. It almost looked like one of those giant horse boxes, you know, the massive big boxes you can get. But this thing was
More like it was a camper one.
there's
Massive,
a bus
huge.
stop round the corner from us, and we have double deckers and stuff stopped there all the time. This thing
Couldn't even
was
get in.
bigger than that. This thing was huge. It had writing down the side, and someone was on tour and so on. But I was so tired and annoyed. Anyway, this chap come down the steps. Came down the steps. I parked up behind. And he went, well, I've got someone in there, they're going to drive it back for me because I've got to drive this wagon and we're going back down to Devon and then we've got to be in London in 2 days time, so we're running really late. We're hoping to be with you about 5 to 6 or 6. Now we ain't going to get home to about 3, 4 in the morning. I said, well, I hope it all goes well for you. Anyway, he signs all the paperwork, quickly pays. He doesn't want to inspect the car whatsoever. He just said, is it as good as you said? I said, look, I've been personally driving this car for years. It's a good car. Take my word for it. He said, fine, no worries. Pays me. I takes the paperwork with me and I walks around the corner to go into Peggy.
And by this point, Chloe then realised it just says, all over the coach, it just says, Toya Wilcox on tour. Who's Toya Wilcox? I went, oh my God, she's a big singer. And had to Google and show Chloe for Chloe to go, oh.
So Toya
It was actually
Wilcox
her manager.
was driving this car back to Devon. Her manager was driving the giant coach.
Mm.
And I didn't know. I didn't twig.
No.
I just thought, oh yeah, someone written on that. It's a big, interesting coach. I never got to meet her.
No.
No, I only ever got to meet the manager.
You don't even know if she was actually on the coach.
No, it was the lady. He just said the lady was going to drive the car back. But she'd come out when I'm gone.
That would have probably been her then.
So I'm 99% sure.
Oh my God.
He
Toya
waited for me
Wilcox
to
drove
walk
your
away
car.
before she came down the steps and drove the car away.
Make sure no one's around to take photos.
Yeah.
Paparazzi type thing, yeah.
Because it was so late.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery. But yeah.
They were on a mystery tour.
So they drove the little H-Reg Metro away. And I did type the reg in. And that was about, well, it was about 7 years ago now. That was about 7 years ago. And that little Metro's gone through every MOT every year. The logbook's never changed. And then strangely, really, really strangely, this year, 2020, when COVID happened, it came up, details not found.
Which means they've either...
So doesn't that mean they put a private plate on
Yeah,
it?
they normally put a private plate on. Yeah, I know Jenny. Jenny's put her husband's the legendary guitarist Robert Fripp. I have been watching the Sunday videos.
Yeah, but who was her manager? He wasn't her manager though.
No, he's not the manager.
No. So I don't know who the manager was.
Mm.
But I met him and it was a blimmin' ass big coach.
Gone.
And it meant nothing until I'd gone back, and then they were like, you got to get back around there, you got to have a look. Gone.
Okay, so here's a question. What is your favourite 80s tune?
Oh, sorry, what a question. Ghostbusters.
I thought you was going to say Thompson Twins.
I do love Thompson Twins. Ghostbusters is the first thing that came into my head, and it's 80s, and it's the most influential, one of the most influential things of the 80s, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Okay.
Do-do-do-do. What's yours?
I've got to be careful here because I was born in 1980, but some of the tunes I listened to were early 90s.
Yeah, you got to have an 81.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
have a drink a minute.
I'm not sure. I probably would say, band-wise, probably something like Duran Duran or Aha or something.
Well, you
I
never
did
listen to them now, so how could they be that influential in your life?
I still do listen to them. It's just because you ever don't listen to my Spotify playlist. And I would say, probably Aha. But I would say Sun Always Shines on TV. Not Take On Me.
Heard it here first. What's yours, Simon?
Yeah, come on.
Can't ask a question and not do your own.
Jenny's put Anything by Depeche Mode.
How does that go? Who are they? Give me a something genuinely.
Depeche Mode.
Yeah, I don't know them, but you got to tell me one of their songs.
I don't know. Off the top of my head?
Yeah, classic.
Off the top of my head?
Sat there
I don't
looking
know.
all knowing.
I know who Depeche Mode is, but I don't... Off the top of my head. Living on Video is mine.
Living on Video. I don't know Living on Video. You've got to like...
Here I go again, Whitesnake. Here I go again on my own.
bit more?
No.
I'll Google it
Enjoy
after
the
this.
silence.
I'll Google it after this and I'll be like, oh yeah. No, I also Thompson twins.
Thompson twins, yeah.
I like all the Thompson twins. And my brother, lockdown pretty much wiped his business out.
Yeah, sadly.
And he was doing that self-employed furlough.
Jenny's put, I am also a huge AHA fan. Duran Duran was a good back in the day from David Burridge.
And I mentioned my brother because he's now doing vinyl. He buys and sells vinyl,
Oh,
listens to vinyl all
cool.
day. And he actually said to me the other day how
Froggy's got to
good
go.
Thompson twins are.
Froggy's got to go because he's got phone
Feed the
call.
frogs.
No, friend on the phone and he can talk for Wales. Take it easy.
Catch up with you soon.
Axel Left theme is awesome. Sigh, yeah.
Yeah, as long as they got a crazy frog with it.
Harry has wrote, I once was on TV in a rotten VW T25 while playing The Sun Always Shines on TV on the radio.
Small world, isn't it? It's a small world. All T25s are rotten. Any others? What's the most rotten vehicle you've had? I'll tell you.
Ah!
Sorry. I couldn't. Well, I'll twist the question a little bit. What's the most rotten one you've had, and what's the worst car you've had? Because the most rotten one that I worked on, which you can see on YouTube, it's hilarious. I did a welding job on a T2, a Volkswagen T2, and I poured an awful lot of wallpaper out of it.
70 style.
David was there. It was hilarious. David just looked at me and wondered what was going on, and I was pulling wallpaper out, but David doesn't really know vehicles that well, but he didn't twig that wallpaper shouldn't be in vehicles.
Not where that was.
And then I started pulling lots of chicken wire out, and then he twigged. Chicken wires for chickens. That was the worst rotten one. If we owned a rotten one, oh yeah, I know one. The worst rotten we've had. I bought when me and Peggy had first got together. We saved our money up. It was back in the days, you know. Honestly, didn't have 2 pennies to rub together.
But no, not
And
really.
we'd saved up and we bought a beautiful, beautiful Mark 1 Volkswagen Passat. It was everything we needed. 5-cylinder engine, but good on fuel, lots of space, lots of comfort, wonderful size. It was just the right price, and it came MOT 12 months of that day on it. And the reason why I mentioned it with an MOT, not that because it was rotten, didn't even have it for 24 hours and the cam belt snapped. Destroyed the engine outright. We took it back to the dealer because it had warranty on it. It hadn't been 24 hours. They would not refund us.
No.
They gave us a Ford Orion with 3 months MOT. It had multicoloured bumpers and so on. It was not worth, it wasn't worth quarter of the money we paid for the Volkswagen. I had a suspicion it was rotten, but it was before I knew vehicles. One day we broke down and the chap came out and he looked at it and he went, I'll get it fixed for you, but would you care to drive it home and never use it again? And I said, well, we need it for work and that. We got about another 8 weeks MOT on it. And he went, this vehicle is not fit for the road. This vehicle is so dangerous, so rotten, it's not holding itself together. And so when I got it back, I took it to a friend who I trusted. They put it on their ramp, and no, it should have never ever been sold. It was the most rotten vehicle we'd ever had.
Okay, so we have got Renault 5 for both by Desmond Donders.
That's the one that Ali G did that 30-mile-an-hour button in, isn't it?
Yeah. Simon says a Nissan Terrano.
Well, that's rare.
Harry says I had an Austin A30 as a donor car at a garage I worked at. I opened both doors and it just broke its back.
That must have been sat around for quite some time.
Jenny has said she's sent you the Apache mode. Enjoy the silence.
Okay,
Tune.
thank you.
Si says worst car I've owned has to be the last but one Rover 45 we had.
Oh, you can do better than that. You need to buy a really naff car.
Desolator says, thank you for your gasless reply. Looking at sip, or is it swip? Hee. Yes, we did find that after we post. Jenny says, worst car.
Single swip.
Jenny says the worst car I ever had was a Fiat Mirafiore.
Yeah.
Si says best car I've ever owned and regret selling is my old 1997 Fiat Cinquecento. And Jenny's put.
Still got some mirrors for one of them in the workshop.
Jenny says best one was a Chrysler Neon.
I'll tell you one other story because I don't know how long you guys want to be with us. So one other story, and you might have heard it from me before, but just in case you haven't, stories always come around again.
How's it go? Let me tell you a story.
We purchased a vehicle from Devices. It was a Yugo. Y-U-G-O. A Yugo. If you don't know a Yugo, Google Yugo. It was a tiny little car. It was about the same size
It should have been on Top Gear, I think.
It was about the same size as a Renault 5 or a Citroen AX. Same ballpark, but it's called a Yugo. The guy, for some reason, on one side had fiberglass windows, and it was a poor man's Fiat. It was horrendously bad, but it had 6 months MOT, and I think it was only about 80 quid. We needed a car to get by. We only needed a car for a month or so because something else was in the pipeline. This was back in the days when you could only have one car in the family, and we could only afford to run one car in that. So if you were saving up to get a better car, people would sell these crap runabouts. It was about 80 quid. We bought it from Devices. It was horrendously bad. We got pulled over by the police. The police saw that we had a very young child in the car and said that we could continue, but our lights were in and out and they were a bit concerned. But they said as long as we were driving home, we would. I did tinker with the lights. I never made any progress with them. The brakes were shockingly bad. If anyone had ever stopped in front of us, I would never have stopped. It was shockingly bad. I literally drove it for about 2 weeks and decided that I can't deal with it anymore.
So she parked it up.
Well, I didn't quite park it up. I had a friend come to me for a vehicle, and I said, look, this one's shockingly bad. Shockingly. But it's got me by. I've got my other car early. It's got a 4 tank of fuel. If you give me half of what I paid for it to cover the fuel and stuff, you won't get another car for like 40 quid. They gave me the 40 quid. Off they went. We done the logbook. Off they went. They drove it for 2 days. Couldn't put up with it. Found it was really bad. They only 2 days. They literally still had a 4 tank of fuel in it. They drove it into the middle of the most notorious housing estate here, where we are. They left all the doors unlocked.
Left the keys in it.
Left the keys in the ignition, but left the vehicle on the insurance. Not condoning that that's what you should do, and I'm not condoning that that's what they should have done, but it was insured, and that's what they decided to do. But I think personally nowadays your insurance is void if they got the keys anyway.
Yeah, I think so. Unless the keys were stolen
from your house.
Yeah.
But they left the car unlocked with the keys in it, with most of the fuel in it. Can you guess quickly what happened to it?
I would, before you answer that, I will put these as well. So before Chloe answers, so you can have your guesses. So we've had a Matiz that was just utterly dreadful too.
Matizes are cool. I like Matizes.
Worst car was a Fiat 500. Engine vibrated off the exhaust. Too much bother.
Oh,
£300 bought from my work. That's from Lindsay.
I've only ever driven one Fiat 500, the original. I went to view it, to buy it, and it gave me a pounding headache, and we never purchased it.
Simon says Yugos are awesome. Jenny
Oh,
says, I remember them. They came from Yugoslavia.
they did, yeah. You go for Yugoslavia.
Simon said, more like a Fiat 126, aren't they?
A little bit bigger, but yeah, it's
Jenny also says, my dad had a Ford Anglia.
3 gears. Ford Anglia only has 3 gears.
David at Desmond Onda says, I think brakes were an extra on the Yugo.
Yeah.
And that Yugo is there to this day, maybe. Sai says, Birmingham style insurance claims, haha, good times.
Yeah.
Jenny thinks nobody touched it. And Harry has says, ever owned a 2CV? Might buy one as a project once. I rid myself of a few mopeds. No, we've never owned a 2CV.
I would love to own a 2CV. Someone here has put them on my ban list.
Hmm.
I think she's a fool,
But I would like her to get one of the old Citroen vans.
but she likes. Do you know the Citroen? Like the, it's a 2CV, but it's like a Diane style van. That's what she'd let me get, but they're even more money.
Keep your
than a
guesses
2CV.
coming. So as I said, we've had Jenny with nobody touched it. And the Yugo is still there to this day.
It's not. I've looked.
They drove it back to the owners.
Yeah. It's funnier than that. It's funnier.
Yeah. H-van, yeah, the H-van.
No, the H van's much bigger.
The H-van's quite nice though as well.
Yeah, you saw one in Glastonbury the other
Yeah.
day. Yeah. H vans are good.
Okay, are
Colossal
you ready
money.
for the answer to what happened to the
My
Yugo?
dream car's a Hyundai Coupe. They're quite cool.
And the answer is the
They-
steering wheel.
They nicked the steering wheel.
That
So
was
the
it.
car was there, unlocked. The 2 doors were wide open. The fuel hadn't been touched. The keys were still in ignition. In fact, the ignition was on. They nicked the steering wheel. So they couldn't even move the vehicle.
That's all they took.
They had to go and find a steering wheel from a scrappy and get the car back. And I think they paid about £10 to go and get it scrapped after they siphoned the fuel out of it. Nick the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Which is kind of shocking really, because Chloe and a friend Colin had a vehicle that they were going to take to get scrapped.
Oh, the Escort.
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
And they parked it up. All they had to do was go and get a screwdriver. Now, where Colin lived wasn't very far at all from where they were where these garages were.
Well, it wasn't where Colin lived. It was in. We rented the garage down there.
I know, I
It was
thought you
back
went
in
to
the flats.
Colin's.
No,
Yeah.
it was back. Well, he
You'd
lived.
gone to Colin's
yeah,
to go to get the screwdriver.
Yeah.
So they left the car, locked it up, left,
I
gone there.
locked the car. I
When-
locked the car.
When they come back,
I was gone, right? So imagine you've left the car rolled outside the garage door, yeah? Now you run into your house, run upstairs,
sit.
run backstairs, decide what you're looking for is in the shed, run to the shed, grab what you wanted, and then go back to the front of your garage. That's how long I was gone.
Go and sit down.
No more. Honestly, shocked to the core I was. This Ford Escort that I was about to scrap, the door was
Down.
open, the door cards had gone, the seats had gone, and the glove box had gone.
Mhm.
It was all gone. No trace. No one driving out the street. Come on. No one driving out the street. Nothing. How the hell? I know you can remove seats fairly quickly,
Not that
but
quick.
not that bloody quick.
Unless there was more than one.
Go get your rope. Go get rope.
Yeah.
Get rope.
Jack.
That's the most time
Simon says hello, Jack.
I've
Simon
ever in
says
my
hello.
life been shocked
Yeah,
to the
Simon
core.
says hello. Do you want to go out?
The vehicle still got scrapped,
Get out.
but you tell him how the vehicle got scrapped.
The vehicle still got scrapped, but obviously it had no interior. So Colin acquired a milk crate, turned it upside down, and sat on that whilst towing this vehicle.
We had to tow the vehicle. Colin had to sit on a milk crate while we towed it to the scrapyard.
Yep.
The interior gone. They nicked it in seconds.
Mhm.
Gutted. Never to my life, to this day. I can't remove an interior that quick.
All I can say is there must have been more than one of them.
They must have been watching, and there had to be one for every seat. And they were ninjas.
Hmm.
I was robbed by ninjas. That should have been the name of this.
I was robbed by ninjas.
Name of this live. I was robbed by ninjas.
That should be our next live then.
Robbed by ninjas.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah. So the Yugo, they nicked the steering wheel. At least that's a bit quicker, I
It's
suppose.
probably only held in with tape.
Oh, what was the other worst cars, anyone?
No. But Lindsay says, Citroen driver knocked me off my moped. Doors opened the wrong way. She realised her skirt was getting wet, so she opened the door and knocked me off my bike. Happy days. Not.
Oh, blimey. It's not good, is it?
No.
I want a moped again. Can we go to the allotment?
I can just see you with the hoe behind you.
No, I'm not taking that on the moped. I'll leave
And
it.
the
at
fork and the
I'll
spade.
I'll leave that at the allotment.
Fork and spade.
I have my spuds in the basket in the front, and if I go over the roads are so bad at the moment, you'll see little spuds going, and then car behind will be going, spuds.
Ooh, Dag BBC. Hello, Dag. I didn't see you come in. I said hello before. I've got a 1998 S-Reg Suzuki Vitara with a chassis in great condition and a chain for a timing belt. But the body work is starting to rot on the body above wheel. Should I spend money or scrap it?
No,
Now-
don't scrap it.
No, I will have to say, if you've got
Is that the 1.6 engine? Is that the S-Reg? Should that be the later one? That's the dog's going off. That's the bulkier chassis one, isn't it? So that's because the earlier one was the SJ410 and the SJ413, which is the more squarer type, the shared body with
2.6
Rascal.
got
But this would be the
612.
later, the bigger one, the 1.6.
it's a 2.6 V6.
Blimey, that's a beast.
I would have to say, from our experience with a lot of vehicles, if it's got a really good engine, it will always have a crap body, and vice versa. If it's got a really good body, it's usually got a crap engine.
Is that what you say about me?
Yeah. So, but you'll find it's true. You will find it's true. So
I would say repair it. Definitely repair it. Vitaras are getting rare now. But that's a beast. That's a major engine in that. Vitara's got to be saved. An S-Reg 98. In my head, that's still new, but obviously not because it's 23 years old now. But I mean, 23 years. Where's that 23 years gone? But what a fun vehicle!
yeah.
How's the mini camper van? It starts first time
Mm,
and it's parked right alongside us here now.
it is at the moment, yeah.
I haven't started it yet. I have acquired the panels. I've bought the new wheel arches for the front. I've managed to find the very rare inner sill for it. So the panels are in the van, but I need to finish the white Bedford Rascal that's in the workshop before I can do this little camper. So the little camper is in progress. It does get started and driven up and down the alleyway and that quite a lot, but I'll have to let him in a minute. But it does. It's not. I've got panels for it. It's in progress, but it's in a queue.
Yeah,
It's in a queue.
it is.
But yeah, Vitara would be cool.
I used to have a Vitara.
Oh,
I had the Grand
I've
Vitara.
got to tell you the story of the Vitara now. Peggy has a story
Dad-
of a Vitara.
Dag BBC says, I so wish I lived near you guys to pay you for the repairs.
Whereabouts you based? Let me know where you're based. So it wasn't far from here. We didn't live here at the time. We were driving, and there's this section of road that Swindon is quite notorious for traffic jam. But as the traffic jam eases, it opens up to a dual carriageway. As it opens up to a dual carriageway, it comes to a roundabout. So a lot of cars bomb down there because it becomes dual carriageway, but then they had to stop because of the roundabout. But I can't remember why the conditions were that particular day. Now you know,
But
the
they haven't put that safety tarmac in yet then, had they? either.
Tarmac.
You know, you get like the anti-skid.
I don't think it's
They-
anti-skid tarmac.
That's why you get different sections and different colours, especially like when you're approaching,
Oh, okay.
because it's slightly different texture to it.
Peggy's blaming the road surface. You go and let her dog
That's what I'm going to do.
Is he going to come in for me? Right, Peggy's blaming the road surface. So what we'd gone. Are we going to pick my car up?
No, you're in a car next to me.
Well, I was following Peggy. She's bombing down this road in the Vitara. She had the 1.6, I believe, then, didn't you? And I watched her approach this roundabout, and I just thought, she ain't going to make that. Why is she driving like that? Peggy's normally a reasonable driver, but I'm just watching the Vitara, and I'm thinking, she ain't going to make that. And I had quite a big car at the time. So what I did was, I went over to the white line, and I slowed down, put my hazards on, and I kind of backed the traffic up a bit. You know when you see these lorries stagger? Well, I moved over and I staggered a bit because I really thought she's going to lose this. So anyway, Peggy gets to the roundabout. I don't quite know how she does it. She spins a 180 in the Vitara and stalls it.
No, it wasn't stalled.
So she's there on the roundabout. Wasn't stalled, she's shouting. She's there on the roundabout after doing the 180, facing the wrong way, looking directly at me, who's got my hazards on, who's slowed all this traffic up behind me. And I just comes to the white lines and she's there back to front on the roundabout, and I just went. She goes bright red, puts it in reverse, lines up at the roundabout, and then goes back round and has to drive past these people who she stopped. So Peggy's famously spun a Vitara on that road. So I've got on here, let me just have a look why Peggy's just obtained a minute. So I so wish I lived near you guys to pay for the repair. Whereabouts are you?
He's answered that one.
Has he? Yep, I agree. Our new 45 has an awesome L series diesel engine, but I think the guy who owned it lived in the jungle, as every panel has scratches and swirls. Oh, you like him too immaculate. You'd cry if you saw my Rover 214. Bought it off Joss Stone's dad. North Warwickshire.
Warwickshire?
Well, North Warwickshire. Is that North Warwickshire? It's not that far away.
What's this?
Hi,
What's this?
SJ. Wow, Jenny. Chloe doesn't have anything fast enough to skid.
Do you not? To be fair, you do drive me like Miss Daisy.
I like driving like Miss Daisy. What's this arrow mean? It means I've touched the screen and gone wrong.
Means you've got to go back down.
Do I own anything fast enough to skid?
I didn't stall it.
Do I, do I have anything fast enough to skid? No. And they're all front wheel drive anyway.
Trying to think.
Like a wheel spin.
You can wheel spin.
But
I suppose you could skid in olive. Or maybe gas.
they're front wheel drive. Could go sideways. couldn't
Porsche engine in the LT, isn't it?
you? Wow. No, not this one. There's talk of some kind of sharing, but I don't think it was in this one because this is the big cargo Luton one. It has the 6-cylinder in this, I think.
Yeah, 6-cylinder.
This is a 6-cylinder 2.5 petrol engine. Yeah, 6-cylinder 2.5 petrol engine. And it had a strange carburetor with a strange name that we had to find the we almost went to America for the gaskets for it, didn't we?
Yeah.
In the end I managed to get them from Germany. What was the name of that
The
car?
petrol 5-cylinder is a Porsche 924 engine.
Wow, it's huge. It's got no power. Got no power.
No, it
Probably
doesn't.
because of the gearbox we're using. It probably uses a different gearbox for us.
Mm.
Because the gearbox in this is,
Non-existent.
wow, it's just all over the place. I'm not gonna drive this van unless I need to. That's why we keep Faith the Transit, and we got the little campers. It's gonna be fun. I think this year's not written off. It's kayaking year. Sink or what have you put? Sink or swipe?
Swip.
Swip. This is a sink or swip year. But no. Next year. Let's hope next year. Touch wood, eh? Next year.
Stick with it, please.
Stick with what?
Swip.
Stick. Oh, that's your saying. Stick with it, please. Well, they've done that for 2 hours.
I know.
Can't believe you guys are still with us. 2 hours.
I know. 2 hours.
Have you managed to get any awesome collectibles recently? Let Peggy tell your story while I find you a photo.
Of what?
I don't know.
Lol, hope you did not head for a swip.
I have bought something recently that's a really oddball thing. Let me find a photo.
Okay. I'm intrigued now.
Well, you got a photo of it. You're next to it.
Oh, okay. Well, most people have probably seen it then on the Instagram.
If you're on our Instagram for Retro Renovations, you will get to see the oddball collections as I do my eBay shop.
Yes. And Chloe picked up something rather odd.
I took a punt at something that was a bit odd from my eBay shop.
How are you doing, BL Day? Be nice to see you both again.
I haven't booked it
when
yet.
When is it?
It's the beginning of June, isn't it? It's at Gaydon, the National Heritage Home.
Yeah, I know where Gaydon is. What the hell is Instagram? Lots of photos, that's what Instagram is. So
We've done so many videos that I've got to do.
So when is BL Day?
Type on there when BL Day is. I haven't booked it. But what would I take? The Montego I don't think is going to be ready. It's a bit boring to take the Rover 214, isn't it? I don't think the Moggy counts.
Olive?
Olive's got a leaking fuel tank.
Yeah.
Is it bigger that way? It's about the same.
Here we go. If you can see it.
Where's the camera on this?
At the top.
It's the trade show. It's called a face in the box or a face in the card, and it's the Beatles, and you stick your face in it. Peggy has stood to the side of it so you can see how big it is.
Si says we've got to take the Rover.
There's Peggy doing a really funny face. She looks a bit distorted on that camera. Yeah. Oh yeah, could you see it? Yeah, there's Peggy pulling a sideways face. That's the most strangest thing I've probably bought. Is Peggy doing another pose. She said she didn't want to share these photos, so you've seen them.
It's okay.
So
I'll get you back.
So yeah, that's the strangest thing I've bought lately.
Simon says
and it's up for grabs.
Simon says bring the 214 because he's taken the 414.
I better get painting then, don't I? I
Is
like
cool,
Instagram.
Si says that is cool though.
It is cool. I just thought it had to be done. So that's up for grabs. That's up for grabs. And the first auction, it didn't sell. It's just not getting a lot of interest, which really surprised me because it's such a rare, unique item. I thought it would do better, but at the moment I've still got it. And the other auction I had up that I thought would sell because the amount of people watching it was the Triumph, and that didn't sell this evening. So I've had sales this week, car parts and little models and stuff, but yeah, meet you at Strensham.
I need to know when it is.
You need to type when it is so Becky can look at getting some tickets, because I think it's all going to be pre-booked, this business, isn't it? Everything's pre-booked. We have booked some shows before we'll have to wrap this up soon, so let us know if you've got any burning questions. We've booked the motorhome and caravan show for the end of the year.
For October.
I cannot believe it's been near it. By then it would have been 2 years since we've gone.
Desmond Onders has got to go.
It's late, mate. I don't blame you.
So see you later, David. And if Lindsay, if you're going as well, we'll see you later soon. Bye.
Something not June.
Something not June. Okay.
Shall I take it?
Are you doing Festival of the Unexceptional? or something of June.
I've heard of Festival of the Unexceptional. Isn't that to do with the chap who drives all the normal stuff? Oh, he messaged me. He wants to drive the Mini.
Hubnut.
Hubnut. Isn't that to do with Hubnut?
Like
Festival of the Unexceptional. Isn't that to do with Hubnut? I have to look all this stuff up. Hang on.
Yeah, because I've got the chat on mine, so I can't look it up.
What am I looking up?
First off, we need to know when the BL day is. No, Haggerty Insurance runs it.
British Leyland Day.
Yeah.
Because if you type in BL Day, you don't want to know.
Thinks you've typed L by mistake.
You know the old standard joke, don't you? It's gone past the
11th of July.
Gone past the threshold now. We can always say it, can we? I typed in Gary Oldman to Google, but I missed the R. It was disturbing. That's the old search engine joke.
11th of July.
British Leyland Day.
I think I've got something on.
11th of July. It's not close. Just before your walk.
It's before the walk, but I think that's the weekend where I'm actually marshalling in the other one.
Have to go about it. It'd be a shame.
Have you ever thought of doing the Crick Boat Show?
Get tickets. Yes. Which one do you want to use? Eventbrite, Range Rover, Car Scene, The List, Car Sales. Eventbrite do tickets, don't they? Eventbrite. Just thinking about it. How much is it? Accept a cookie. I'd love to have a cookie right now. 10 till 4, Gaydon.
Did you know that Hubnut is known as Seabiscuit to his mates?
Did I know what? Hubnut is just a...
Hubnut is known as Seabiscuit to his mates.
That's because of his surname, isn't it? Vehicle exhibitors. Join the huge amount of classic British vehicles for just £9. This includes an entry pass to display your vehicle and gives admission to driver and passengers, show, museum, collection. £9! It's a bargain, isn't it?
Right. Crick Boat Show. We have thought about it, going to the Crick Boat Show.
We were offered tickets last year for free.
But then it got cancelled.
And then it got cancelled. We would love to go. It's right up in the north. It's right up in the above Midlands, isn't it? It's when we went to stay in that B&B. It's up that way, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we'd love to do Crick. Really would love to do Crick. I don't think it's on this year.
I think isn't it virtual this year? So people.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything virtual. This is virtual. I'm here for you guys. I ain't doing a show virtually.
And the other show was the Unexceptional Festival.
Right, well, I'll leave that page up because I'll book that, Simon. I will book it, Simon. All right.
Crick is a bit shiny boater. You know the type.
So I need to go to the other search engine now.
Yeah. Or open up another tab.
New tab. Now I'm confused. I'll try up there. What am I looking for?
You are looking for the
festival
of the Unexceptional.
Of the
Unexceptional. Yeah, maybe next year, Jenny. That'd be quite good.
It comes up Festival Women. Shop online at BL.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. It's not the top. It's not the top
no,
search.
No, because you've spent Unexceptional wrong.
Have I? Unexceptional. How are they spelling it?
You can tell that because it says including the results for the Festival of the Unexceptional.
Exceptional. It's spelled exactly the same. Gotta take that back. Wikipedia. gives me an image. I don't want an image. I want the festival.
Don't click on the Wikipedia thing then.
Only comes up for Wikipedia.
Haggerty.
Oh, Haggerty's. Accept
Try
more
that.
cookies. Haggerty's Festival and exceptional returns on
31st of July.
31st of July. When's your walk?
The weekend before.
Oh. Celebrate the most marvellously mundane motor cars.
Where is it?
Oh, well, you look, there's that two-tone metro right at the front.
Who's... What, no, what I'm trying to find is...
Where is it?
Yeah, Lincolnshire.
Flaming hell, Lincolnshire.
That's a bit of a drive. I think I feel an Airbnb coming on.
Is David still on?
David, you still on?
Are you still on, David?
David Burridge.
Burridge, not Benson. Are you still here? We are
Monsieur
calling, we are
David.
calling David. Yes, I'm still on.
Monsieur David, would you like to have the dog for another night?
Can we do a virtual dog sitting for 31st of July? Because Lincolnshire's a hell of a drive. Let me just type that in. Grimsthorpe Castle. I'm going to go to another page. Good old technology.
Approximately 10 miles from where you collected the rascal bits.
Really? Grimsthorpe Castle. Well, that took us a long time. I don't drive very fast.
And what was... Yeah. Harry. 3 Gates, is it called?
Yeah,
There was a...
That's not local to him. That was a bit of a drive home. There's a place we came... You might not know this. After we left you... You say it.
So I think after we left you, there was a place called 3 Gates on the way home. And there we were trying to find somewhere to eat.
It's like a village with 3 houses.
Yeah. And in someone's back garden, they have a little shack. And they do wood-fired pizzas. Oh my God, they were absolutely amazing. And I mean, they were amazing.
We just Googled pizza nearest to
No,
us.
I actually Googled takeaway food and that came up.
And that came up. And we drove through this village.
Expecting to find like a truck or something inside a
You
pub
know,
car
you get
park.
well, a pub car park or a lay-by.
Or a lay-by, yeah.
You know. Because there is a kebab van that's quite famous on the Foss Way. If you're ever down still on the World Way, there is a famous kebab van that's not really near
Hi,
anything.
Lindsay. Hope you
Night.
win the fight.
And that kebab van's in the middle of nowhere. So we was expecting to find this kebab van.
Yeah.
No, pizza
The
place in the
pizza
middle of nowhere.
shack.
And I drove through and nothing.
And I spotted it in someone's back garden.
But we drove through and Peggy's like, I think it's in there. So we parked on this guy's driveway.
And it was in his
But
garden.
he doesn't do like people driving into his garden.
No, he does normally just deliveries. But he goes, where have you travelled going?
That was funny.
Where are you from? And I went, Swindon.
We were 99 miles away from home.
And he just went, oh. And I went, we literally just typed into Google takeaway and you came up. So and he was like, well, I tell you what, if you order now, go up the road and told us where the lay-by was. And he said, if you don't mind waiting about 15 minutes and then come back, your pizzas will be ready. And they were delicious. So it was well worth it.
Right, to Harry, we call you Harry Canal. Harry Canal. It's 134 miles away. But I'm up for it if David's up for it.
Si says, yay, 214, yeah? I suppose that's for
I
the
think
£9 one.
Yeah,
And it's shame Olive isn't ready for the mini show.
I'll book that tonight. I'll book Gaydon tonight.
Si also says shame Olive isn't ready for the mini show. And he also says you have to polish your car for that festival, Chloe. Might want to give it a miss.
Which one?
The exceptional.
You really got to polish it?
No, we just go up and go, it's not daily.
Don't polish anything.
No, we don't actually polish anything. We wash them. Well, actually, no, we take it to the car wash. But
Take it through the car wash. People cringe. Took Olive through the car wash.
oh my God,
She conked out at the very end. Olive's the clubman estate. Well, she conked out at the end, and the people in the what's that?
Quick fit opposite.
Quick fit opposite were going like that.
And
So
we just went,
we went, hang on. So we opened the door. We pushed it forward a bit to run up for Peggy to get behind. Peggy's rolled it over to Quick Fit, and they were like, "I went, just wait a minute, mate. Just wait."
and then vroom,
And we just
Because all
sat
it
there
is
for
the
about
water
yeah, we sat there for
underneath, and
5,
we've
6
been
minutes.
there
And
before. We know what it's going to do. So we just
she fired up after sitting there for a couple of minutes to let the water
and
drop
let us
out.
all go.
Bit of steam and off she went again.
Yeah.
Morris mine has gone through the car wash. I won't do it again. There's a bit of air raising.
Yeah.
I've got a broken clip on one of the windows, and the window was good. I thought I was going to lose the window. I was trying to hold it. I was trying to push it shut. Like, don't come in.
We don't want
And
any
there's one seal that was a bit leaky. And as the spinner, I don't know the technical name for a car wash bit, but as the spinner got level with me, suddenly I got. It came through the bottom of the door right at me. Yeah, that's what you get for taking a Morris Minor in a car wash. The other time it was a bit hair raising as I went to take the Morris Minor in a traditional car wash, and they had a big blooming pit, and you're meant to drive over this pit. I don't know why, but the
No.
Morris Minor wasn't wide enough to go over the pit.
No, it wasn't.
So I had to reverse back and say to them, "Can I have a refund?" Because
Which they did,
you
actually.
didn't tell me.
There was a huge pit.
They goes, "Did you not expect a pit?" I said, "Yeah, but normally it has those square metal platings over it." And I
Yeah.
said, "There's no metal plating." I said, "To be honest, it's a bit dangerous to anyone. If someone puts a wheel in there, you've got a car stuck. Bit of metal prevents that, doesn't it?"
Yeah, it does.
But no, couldn't go in there.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that is it. So I'll give you 5 minutes. Any burning questions? I thank you for that. I'm gonna book the British Leyland show. I'll see if I can book that in a minute. And you could suffer me, Simon. And I'll have a look at the Festival of the Unexceptional. I won't say we'll book it yet because it's a long, long way away.
Hmm.
Car wash. Simon, you wash your cars all the time, but you do it at home. I ain't got mains water here.
No, we haven't.
I can't spare water for washing cars. It has to go to a car wash, and then you polish your cars afterwards. I mean, I just save up and drive them to Wales for some madman to polish them.
I think. Aren't we going that way?
Oh yeah, we're going that way to Morley Castle. So we're going. Oh, he's moved, isn't he?
No, aren't we going there?
It's not near Morley Castle.
Aren't we
right?
going that way for War of the Worlds next year?
No, it's in Birmingham.
We're going to Cardiff.
Are we?
Oh, for God's sake, she's going off to Birmingham. Sorry, I'll have an extra seat next to me.
I thought it was in Birmingham.
It's Cardiff.
Where are we going to park?
We're going to get an Airbnb and go there.
Oh, little. Well,
Because that's what the plan was for
better book it
last
now.
year.
Better book it now.
So, yeah.
I was going to Birmingham.
He's laughing now, see?
I was booking the Airbnb that we had last time near Birmingham. That
Well, I'll
was
tell you
nice.
what, you go there and I'll go to Cardiff. See you later.
It'll be a bit quieter where I am. I'll go in there and it'll be the festival cakes.
Because you
or
got to
something.
remember, we managed to get the same row and right next to Simon.
Peggy would be there and she'd be going, "Ooh la," and I'll be walking around and it'd be a Star Trek convention or something.
It'd be the baby dummies.
I ain't going to no festival of baby dummies. Be the festival of dolls. I'll be scared.
Clowns.
Scared for life.
Spiders, that's what it'd be.
Oh no, you can't do a festival of spiders. We had one of them up there the other night.
Can you
Damn
believe
thing's
that
still
our
in there.
POL picture was over 4 years ago?
I have borrowed your pictures and I have messaged the auto car is on my pictures. I found them on Facebook and I've dropped them a message asking if I could buy a back copy of that magazine. I did that this week. I know it's 4 years ago and they're probably going to go, "What?" And they're probably going to go, "It's in English." But hey, hey, I messaged them. I haven't had a reply yet because it's the weekend, isn't it? But I did message them Friday asking if I could buy a back copy. Because me and Peggy's been in the magazines a lot. We was in Classic Car magazine.
With Olive.
With Olive.
We've also been in
That was
Mini World.
that was the show you was at, Simon.
Yeah.
Pride
of Longbridge.
Pride of Longbridge.
Again.
And we was in Classic Car magazine for that. So we had that magazine, we saved it. Stay at home, Clay Bar, always welcome. Oh, thank you. I don't think my rusty Rover can take it, but maybe Olive, something like that. What else we got? Yours could do with it. Would you fancy
Mini.
doing that to a Binny? I don't think you'd want to do it to a Binny. I don't think
She's an R50.
Simon's not a Binny fan.
But she's still an R50.
Simon's not a Binny fan.
She's still an R50. Mind you, I'll take her
Well,
to
the
the car
following
wash.
ones, I haven't told you this, but the following ones have still got R numbers.
Yeah, but there are 53s, isn't it?
53, 55,
Yeah.
56.
March.
No, we're in April, Simon.
It's March next year.
What's March next year? Paul, I'll go to bed.
War of the Worlds is March next year.
Oh, when I'm going to Birmingham.
Yeah.
Let's blooming hope so.
Can't believe
Touch
she's-
wood. It got put back, didn't it?
It got put back to March next year. Because it was meant to be last year, at the beginning of April, and then they actually cancelled it and moved it forward 2 years.
And let's hope it's better than Camp Quirky, because Camp Quirky got put back again, and now it's completely
Cancelled.
gone. It's finished.
No, because it got cancelled for May last year. Then
Right.
they were going to do it in October.
I don't think
That
they're
got
going to have the heart
cancelled.
to do it for a while.
Then they moved it to May this year, and then they've completely cancelled it all, and everyone's got their money back.
I just got my 53 Astra in the end. It didn't have a dual mass flywheel. What?
Which I thought was the problem. So it might have been the diff that was juddering. But the big problem was the subframe where the wheel was attached. Wow.
Thanks for sharing that, but if you get to know me, I think that every Vauxhall from 1988 onwards should drive out of Luton, turn left, drive into the nearest scrapyard and disappear for all eternity. I think that'll do society quite some good.
Simon, no, you haven't been lucky. I'm very sorry. You haven't been able to swap our tickets.
I'm going to talk all through that. I'll be like, I should have been in Birmingham today.
I'll let you sit next to Simon then. I'll be enjoying the show and singing along.
We did actually sing it today, briefly, on our drive to Avon Aqueduct.
Yeah,
Because-
we went through Holt.
Yeah, we went through the village of Holt.
So Chloe went, Holt. Who goes there?
Who goes there?
And she said something else. I went, that's not the words. And I had to think about it. And I was like, no, it's actually Holt. Who goes there? Be on your way.
This is
This
my
is my
town.
territory. Your territory.
I can't get it right, but I enjoyed it. It was just there's a village called Holt. Holt. Who goes there?
You artillery man. Take a look around you
So I was quick though.
at the world you've come to know.
It's good. You have to do all the words on your program.
No. Not unless I can get someone to sing it.
Mm. Yeah. Anyway, I really thank you guys. Should we? We're going to the half past.
So says, yeah, I love cleaning all cars.
We'll go to the half past and then we call it a night. Because some muggins here's got a 5 a.m. start to try and save up for.
And
a
I got to
blooming
drive to
boat.
Bristol because I'll be at work from the office tomorrow.
Yes, got to drive to Bristol. So if you want any traffic jams tomorrow, then they've got to be on the M4. Or not on the M4, depending what mood she's in. Whether she wants to get to work early or not.
I'm going to smack her in a minute.
Oh dear. Could go on boat.
Not from here.
No, not from here. No, if you, you need to be that way or that way, didn't you?
I'm up later than you lot. I don't start till 12.
Yeah, I need you to go
Yeah,
post office for me
okay.
on Tuesday.
Rub it in.
Yeah, God, 12 start. No, I don't know if I'd like a 12 start. Because tomorrow I finish around when David starts. So, I'll be back to 5 a.m. Wake up soon. Yeah, I got to be at work by 5:30, but I tried to get up around 5. It doesn't give me very long.
I love seeing you guys. The best description in a long mile.
Oh, thank you very much.
you.
That's really nice.
That is.
Normally we get told we don't stick to one thing because we do canals, cars, food.
Si, you'll be fine. He's having his first jab on Wednesday.
Well, I wasn't planning on giving you anything. I keep Corona to myself.
Chloe's actually had both her vaccinations. I had mine.
What's your name, Dag BC?
BBC.
We'll give you a shout out.
I had my first one in March, end of March, and I've got my next one in June.
Peggy had AstraZeneca.
Mhm.
I had the Pfizer.
A friend.
A friend.
Have you heard the unused version of that?
I'm lost.
Oh, what, the song?
Unused.
Yeah,
version.
the Tillery Man one. No, I haven't heard the unused version of that.
You got to give Peggy all these bits and bobs, if you don't mind. Because I've seen
I do listen
bits
to.
of your
I
Wardwell
tell you what.
collection, and it's a good collection.
I tell you what, I can listen to over and over and over again is actually the Audible exclusive of the War of the Worlds book. That is amazing with the Jeff Wayne's music.
She can listen to that on her own because I've listened.
I
to
do.
bits and the guy's voice does me head in.
It's Michael Sheen.
I don't mind not having a sticker. I didn't get a sticker. I don't mind.
I had a sticker.
I'm not a sticker person.
I got a sticker. It's actually on my works badge. So
Well, we're going to make stickers, but they're different.
They're vinyls.
They're vinyls.
So yeah, no, I got my sticker, but mine doesn't say which one I've had. It's just a sticker.
I just got a little card to say I've had both vaccines, and the government are going to spy on me forevermore. They spy on me anyway because the Chinese are here, the English are here. Everyone listens to the phone. We're on YouTube.
Everyone to be here. Yeah.
You guys are watching us. We're spied on all the time. Oh dear. Yeah, so it's been absolutely lovely having you. Thank you ever so much. I thought we'd do an hour. We're meant to start at 7. We're still driving back. We got here for 8. We've eaten quickly. And thank you. We thought we'd do an hour. Then I thought we'd go a bit more and a bit more. And that's amazing.
2.5 nearly.
I don't know how you guys do it. How do you put up with us for
Thank
so
you.
long? Don't know how you guys do it.
Good night, David.
Night, David. Night. Go to early for
Good night, Si.
12 o'clock start.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll try and have a good sleep. Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I could do this sleep. I'll probably get
Peggy
wake up.
rubbing her eyes.
I've been yawning really bad. I'll probably get Chloe in the morning trying to get up, and all I can hear is because she'll be so stiff with all those muscles
that
she's actually had to
kayaking.
use today.
I forget what it's called. Is it Sinkle Swipe?
Swinkle Swip.
Swinkle Swip.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Mary Allen.
So in the morning I got to try and get out of bed. Oh, Sinkle Swip. Yeah, I'm really intrigued. That's what I'm going to finish. I knew I would ache here, and I do when I do that. But I'm really intrigued by it in my thighs, and that's how we started this chat. Yeah.
Can I post the link that you guys are on?
You can, but we're off. We've been on for 2.5 hours, so it's been lovely having you guys with us. If you keep an eye out, we always announce in plenty of time when the next live is. So we do a live once a month, and the next live will roughly be.
And we said we'd do it on a Saturday night next time.
Bear with me in the calendar. So it could either be that weekend or that weekend.
Can we do? Well, we can do the 15th. Saturday 15th. Oh, hang on, no, I might be walking.
We will
Sunday,
confirm it very
Saturday.
soon, but probably middle of the month.
Yeah.
Saturday the 15th of May is looking the possibility, but we will confirm it near the time. We try and do a month. We try and do a live once a month. We try and put a video out once a week, and we try and put the videos out in order. So you get one to do with the canals, you get one to do with the car repairs. We try to do one that's a car tour,
Or something.
or we try to get one that's Peggy's
Walks.
I wasn't going to say the word because of the dog. And then you get a random one.
That apple tree, I tell you.
Something tapped the roof, so I assume it's an apple tree. So yeah, so we try to give you a various videos to break the month up. They do take a lot of prep. They do take a lot of planning and recording and thinking what to record. And when I'm wilding out, try and not mount the screen of my phone, which I've managed to do before. And I've even damaged a watch now for forgetting to take that off when I've been wilding. It's a case of knowing what to record. There is a blooper that I'm going to share with you guys soon, which is really funny.
I know it wasn't Chloe falling in the canal.
There's a really good channel local on YouTube called The Wiltshire Man. If you've not heard of it, check it out. It's a really good channel, The Wiltshire Man. A chap called Sandy, and
I haven't actually met him yet.
And he just does these wonderful clips where he walks to the camera and walks away, but it just makes you feel like you're
part of that walk,
part of that surround, And so I thought I'd try it because we're doing one, and
phone was like that, and then it just went
really slowly. It's just funny. I'll share it with you guys. It's funny. It's our blooper. Yeah, I'll find it out and I'll share it with you guys as the blooper. But yeah, thank you ever so much, guys. We must say good night. Oh yeah, look at that black hole. Blimey, that's lost in
Cheeky
space.
cow. Anyway, stay safe. Stay retro. Good night, everyone.
Night, everyone.